Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Bad Moon's Orbit. I am, as always, your Knight Questor, Dalton Montgomery.
And I am Darian of the Endless.
And today, I have been waiting to talk about this one for a little bit. We had seen the Battle of the Burning Skies.
What
we
a
saw
cool name.
it was so good. We saw Sigmar's defeat at the hands of Archaon.
What a bummer.
Right?
Real bummer fest we left on. I
Right.
was like, this makes me... I'm actively sad. I have been actively sad.
We moved from the generally everything going pretty well Age of Myth into the things going much worse Age of Chaos.
Yeah.
And that is where our story today is going to start. As we mentioned last episode, the Age of Myth existed for a time. We don't have a strict timeline on the Age of Myth.
The same amount of time that the Age of Myths in Greek mythology with all that classical stuff.
Yeah, there you
Between
go.
the rise of Kronos to the time of Odysseus.
Yeah, absolutely. The Age of Chaos, we have a number on.
We have a number? Like a
yeah.
hard number?
Yeah.
Okay.
After Archaon wins the Battle of the Burning Skies, Sigmar retreats to Azir and seals the gates.
Yeah.
That is the event that signals the Age of Chaos.
Yeah.
Humans left in the realms tend to portray that as Sigmar's abandonment. He
For real.
could have stayed and fought, but in his mind, he made a tactical retreat to win the larger war,
Also
lose this
for real.
battle, win the war. Humans don't live that long.
No.
They certainly didn't see it that way.
No, obvi.
Yeah. From the time Sigmar closed the gates to Azir is the start point of the Age of Chaos. And for 500 years...
A lot of hundreds.
It's a lot of
It's
hundreds.
5 whole hundreds.
Chaos just has its teeth in the realms. No real pushback, like whatever coalitions were formed to fight against them during the Age of Myth. It is now every person for themselves.
Yikes.
Alariel is retreated into her soul pod,
Yeah.
right? Being protected by the Lady of Vines.
Very cool, though.
Yes,
is
very
the thing.
cool.
Listen, everything sucks. That's like really cool.
It's very cool. We like the Lady of Vines here. Grimnir is dead. Grungni's in Azir. He is still seeing himself as repaying his debt to Sigmar.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah, right. Gorka Morka is honestly kind of doing fine
Yeah.
because he just likes fighting anyways.
Yeah, so this is great for him.
Yeah, he's gone from being a monster hunter to kicking chaos fortresses over. Like, basically business as usual for Gorka Morka.
Yeah.
And we don't super know what's going on with the elven gods during the Age of Chaos.
Interesting.
We know what Malarian and Marathi are doing during the Age of Chaos.
Yeah?
Kind of.
Okay.
They are waging like a guerrilla shadow war in Olgu. Malarian and Marathi can both manipulate Olgu at their whim. It is very easy for them to suddenly just like pull a path that a Chaos army is walking down off of the path over here into the shadows and jump them, basically.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. Olgu is basically the only realm outside of Azir that's like still that Chaos has access to that ends up doing basically fine. Like shit gets worse in Olgu for sure.
Yeah, there's chaos demons everywhere.
Yeah. But Malarian and Marathi's control over it means that it does not suffer as bad as the other realms do.
Interesting. Maybe I'm going to move there.
Yeah.
Maybe I move there.
It's not so bad.
Let's be honest. By this point, I will have already just aligned myself with Marathi.
Yeah.
And to be one of her,
Yeah.
like, hot, scary lady spies. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty good. I've seen all of the options, and if I don't want to live in a place where trees can run and eat you,
Yeah.
so I guess I'm going to go there.
It's not too bad. Not
No.
too bad. You can hang out with the fish elves on weekends because
Hang
they're
out
also
with
in
the fish elves
Olgu.
on- That's true. As long as they don't try to steal my soul.
Yep. But during that 500 years of the Age of Chaos, chaos, the colloquialism is that chaos conquers all the realms. Conquer is maybe a bit of an overstatement in these terms. The forces of chaos do not have like standing armies in every corner of the realms.
Yeah,
they're not
they're not
like
organized
fully
like that.
occupied. No. But what they managed to do is that very insidious thing that chaos generally is very good at doing, where if the thing that allowed them to get in during the Age of Myth was corrupting those traditions, corrupting those ideas,
Yeah.
and twisting them towards chaos. By the time the Age of Chaos has hit that like 500-year mark, there's nowhere in the realms that is safe from that. This is no longer like we have this cultural practice that a wise stranger told us we should modify.
Yeah.
This is for 6 generations. We have venerated the great brass bull, and that's Khorne.
And that's Khorne. We just openly like everyone's aware that this is for chaos now.
Not necessarily.
How are you not aware? There are chaos demons everywhere.
There are still people in the realms who generally know it's for chaos, but they don't understand the scope of it. Like to your point that there are chaos demons everywhere, there are tribes that we know of, like in Akshi, who see the arrival of bloodthirsters, Khorne's demons, as like a boon. When they go to war and they commit enough bloodshed, the great brass bull sends his emissaries to aid them, right? They don't understand the larger context of it.
Hey, Dalton.
Yeah.
I definitely misheard you the first time, and I thought you said great brass bowl, like what you eat cereal out of. So,
skulls for the skull.
Yeah, that's the next one. I just missed.
The great brass bowl is also very good. I appreciate that.
Full of the chaos demon.
Yeah, it's here. Yeah.
No bowl makes more sense. Please continue.
For the record, my favorite epitaph. Canon epitaph for Khorne, because all the chaos gods, to know the true name of a chaos god is rare. Only their most devoted followers get that privilege.
Crazy.
So most people who worship the chaos gods don't know them by their true name. They know them by an epitaph. My favorite canon epitaph for Khorne is the Brass Belladonna, which is from like a tribe of Amazonian like warrior women in Guyran who worship Khorne's like violence and bloodshedding as like an act of performance.
Nice.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Right?
That's pretty good.
I like
Brass
that quite a
Belladonna
bit.
is pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
But so the Age of Chaos, bad.
Bad
for basically
Bad time.
everybody.
Not a good time.
Yeah.
0 out of 10 would not recommend.
No. So 500 years pass, and all of the realms except Azir more or less get conquered by chaos. Like
Simpsons
I said,
is still airing.
Yeah, yep. Olgu gets out better than most, but for the most part, the Age of Chaos is a time of strife and hardship for everybody in the realms. But there's a reason we have that 500-year number, because
like exactly 500?
Yeah.
Not like 537?
No.
Interesting.
Exactly 500 years.
Cool.
Yeah. And that is because after the Age of Myth and after the Age of Chaos, we finally welcome to our Age of Sigmar podcast.
Hey, welcome to it's canonically an Age of Sigmar podcast.
Yeah,
now.
we get to the
Remember when you
Age
thought
of
you were going to
Sigmar.
do the crash course in one episode?
Yeah. You said the same thing at the end. I just finished editing the Shaiish episode. You said the same thing. Then.
It's a callback.
It's a
3
callback.
times
Yeah.
as funny.
After those 500 years, and we don't know a ton about the Age of Chaos. Most of what we know about the Age of Chaos, we like learn later. It is like testimony from people who are alive as the Age of Chaos becomes the Age of Sigmar.
Interesting. Okay.
Mostly we know that it sucked. Like that's
Famously.
Yeah. There are people who like did well during the Age of Chaos by turning to chaos. There are chaos nobility, like humans who have turned wholesale to the worship of chaos and through like sacrifice and like warfare and whatnot have bought themselves some manner of leverage, some manner of power in this kind of fucked up world. Like, yeah, absolutely.
If you're a literal god of civilization, you couldn't beat them. I can't be that critical.
Right. But after 500 years, something finally changes to break us out of the Age of Chaos.
Whoa.
So when we last left off, Sigmar took all of the like Azir warriors he brought with him to the Battle of Burning Skies, as many as he could, back through the gates of Azir. If you'll remember, the turning point at the Battle of Burning Skies was Nagash's betrayal.
Yeah, he just decided this was a great time to be like, hey, I just heard you were skimming off the top.
Yep.
And that's not cool. And I'm going to let everything fall to chaos. And you're a little bit like, we should have beat you in the face with that hammer one more time. Absolutely. You couldn't answer your cell phone. And so we should have beat your face in with the hammer one more time.
When we had the chance.
This gamble didn't pay off. Was Sigmar in the wrong? Yeah, but honestly, you shouldn't have made that deal from the jump.
No, absolutely
so this is never going to
not.
work out.
Absolutely not. Nagash abandons the fight. Sigmar pulls back to Azir with his warriors. And the gates seal. That's the last we see of Sigmar for 500 years. On the day, 500 years from when the gates to Azir closed. So that's why it's exactly 500 years.
Yeah,
yep.
We know it for sure.
Yep, because the Age of Chaos did not end by circumstance, and it didn't end like inconsequentially.
Like
it didn't fade. Sigmar ended it. And he did that with bombast.
Bombastic.
Yes. So today, and people who are already familiar with the setting, you know what's coming.
Ooh.
Today we are going to talk about mostly one of the factions of Age of Sigmar.
Okay.
One of the groups that, if you are a player of the game Age of Sigmar, this is a group that you can play, and they are the poster child for the setting. Because they are what make it the Age of Sigmar.
Okay.
Today, dear listeners, we are going to be talking about Stormcast Eternals.
Are those my little guy?
Those are your little guy.
My little guy. I don't know. I'm sure. Did we talk on the podcast how I painted a little guy?
I'm not sure we did. Yeah.
Over the summer, there was a local gaming convention, and there was a minifig painting event. And the example minifigs they had to paint were Warcraft Age of Sigmars.
Yeah.
And so Age of Sigmars, they're just little guys.
Yeah.
And so I picked a little guy because I'm like, I recognize the icons on this little guy.
Yeah.
And I was showing it to my roommate Aiden actually the other night because he had fallen to the ground and he had gotten strangely moved outside of the baby gate that keeps the dog out of my room, but the cat's in and out. And I'm like, this means a cat picked him up and took him out of the room. So I'm showing him, and Aiden saw him, and he's like, oh, that would be from Warhammer 40k, Space Marine. And I was like, oh, I guess maybe. And I looked at him like, no, I'm pretty sure this is Sigmar stuff. And he took a closer look. He's like, oh, he just like saw like the helmet of him and thought so. But I was like, no, I think he's a Sigmar boy. And she's like, oh, he's a Sigmar boy. You're right. So that's my little guy.
Yeah.
He lives next to my Kamala Pop who keeps falling.
Hell yeah. But today we are talking about Stormcast Eternals. We are talking about Sigmar's answer to what do we do now? And notably, not an answer he came up with on the fly.
I would hope not. 500 years later, yeah, I hope maybe we spent some time really thinking about what we were going to do next. Wow.
Right.
What a cool looking dude.
Right.
What a cool looking guy.
Right.
Look at their hair. Look at their face tattoos. What a cool guy.
Right.
That's majestic as fuck.
I fucking love Stormcast Eternals. They are so cool.
That's a lady.
She's got
Eternal.
she's got like the blue tattoos on her face and whatnot. Yeah. So
look at her. Wow.
Right.
We just have ladies fighting and it's not a big deal.
Right.
Weird.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, listen, we're going to talk about Space Marines this episode. We're not a 40K podcast, but we're talking about Stormcast. We're going to talk about Space Marines this episode.
Okay. I've been on other podcasts recently, and I've gotten to like, oh, well, at the end, like, Darian, tell people where you can find you. Oh, you can find me on my Percy Jackson podcast over here, or my Arrogant podcast over here, or I also do a podcast with my buddy Dalton, who tells me all about Warhammer, and it's called Bad Moon's Orbit. And they're like, oh yeah, 40K, and I've been both times. It's different, and I'm like, we famously not a 40K. No, Age of Sigmar. I'm sorry, I should clarify. Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, not a 40K podcast. Like, oh.
40K's got the larger cultural landscape. It also had a huge video game just come out.
Yes, so that totally makes sense. And these are not folks who I think play Warhammer. They're just, 40K. And I'm like, no, actually.
More in the cultural consciousness.
You're right. Yeah. I should clarify that from the jump. We're a Warhammer Age of Sigmar podcast. Let me be clear. Put that in your show notes.
Yeah. So what is a Stormcast Eternal? We've got to look at him now. After 500 years, Sigmar delivers his counterpunch, and his counterpunch is the Stormcast Eternals. Could he have done it sooner than 500 years? Maybe. But one thing that we are going to see going forward with Sigmar, specifically like as a character, is a deep sense of doubt.
No, I get that. Yeah. I get your confidence would have gotten really shook at that Battle of the Burning Skies. Yeah. You're going to second guess all of your choices after that. Yeah. Also, these are all humans, right? Not all, but mostly.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Okay, because I was going to be like, well, if you're dealing with humans and they don't live very long, like, it's going to take you a while to, like, perfect. Oh, no. Okay, go on.
Yep. So Stormcast Eternals, when I say they're kind of human, as far as we know, we don't have anything to confirm one way or the other.
Interesting.
Every Stormcast starts human, but that's not what they are by the time that they're done.
By the time they're done cooking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when anywhere in the realms, when a mortal dies fighting chaos, be that soldier in an army, be that desperately trying to like defend themselves from an assailant, be that like prepping the charges on a bomb that will like take out some chaos with you.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, when a mortal dies fighting chaos in the realms, Sigmar grabs their soul before it can reach Nagash.
This is some Valhalla shit. Oh my god, you die in battle, you go to the halls of Odin.
Yes.
Ooh, you die fighting chaos, you go to the halls of Sigmar.
Yes.
I really like that.
Mm-hmm. This was before chaos was in the realms, but even before chaos showed up, Sigmar started picking souls of notable like valor and heroism.
So he wasn't just taking all human souls.
No.
Because I was like, well, how would Nagash not notice?
Yeah.
Because it was only certain ones.
Yes.
And of course, it would take a while to get enough to do a whole army. Like if you only die under certain conditions.
Yeah. He's grabbing, like I said, even before chaos showed up, he's grabbing the valorous, he's grabbing the brave, he's grabbing the compassionate. That is a very important part to him. He doesn't just want weapons. He wants people who are going to do good, and he's really particular about that because of the second part of what happens.
Okay.
So when your soul is taken by Sigmar, he offers you a choice. First thing, you are pulled from the grasp of Nagash, and Sigmar speaks to you, and he offers you...
Do you want to become a postman, or do you want to go out that door?
Yeah. He says, I am offering you forever. The eternal in Stormcast Eternal isn't just floral.
Yeah.
Sigmar tells them it comes with a price, but if you are willing, I will make you immortal to fight chaos forever.
That's really fucking cool.
Right?
Like, that's really
Right?
cool.
I love Stormcast.
Like, that's so cool.
And there's a little bit of it. We're going to see, like, we generally like Sigmar, but he is a person who's used to getting what he wants.
Yep.
And he's got very strict ideas about what is like good in the world.
Yep.
And we have in-text confirmation that while he always asks the question, he's gotten really good at only grabbing people who are going to say yes.
The vetting process is very strict.
Yes. Yeah. It's a little bit of a false choice of like, he wants the show of being like, this is always your choice to make, but he's not going to pick anyone who's going to say no.
Yeah, but that still means that person still made that choice. Like,
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, for
he
sure.
knew they would say yes.
Yes.
That doesn't negate the fact that they still made that choice to say yes.
They made that
it
choice.
It wasn't like a magical manipulation or an enchantment or like a persuasion.
Yeah.
Like it was, I mean, I only hired you because I know you do a good job, kind of thing.
Yeah, they made that choice with the choices they made in life.
Yeah.
They were good before, and that is why they have been offered the chance to become Stormcast. So
Nick Fury doesn't just show up at everybody's house
Yeah.
to see whether or not... Yeah, Tony Stark said no at first.
Yeah.
And then who was building Avengers Tower? Like,
Right.
Nick Fury's always right in the end. Sigmar knows who he's picking for his
Yes.
special club.
Yes. If Immortal says yes, which they always do, the next thing that happens is the most dangerous part of the process.
Ooh.
Longtime listeners and people who are already familiar with the lore are going to recognize the name the Anvil of Apotheosis.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We-
I also recognize it.
Yeah.
Co-host. Well, co-host sounds like a very interesting title for me to have.
Yeah, you are. We mentioned the Anvil of Apotheosis all the way back in episode 2 on Shaman,
Yeah.
because it is a thing that Grungni made.
Yeah, it was one of the magical artifacts
Yeah,
that
it's
he
one of the
made.
great wonders of Grungni. Way early on in the Age of Myth.
That's just been here. It's
Yeah.
been around.
Yeah, it's a
Cool.
thing Sigmar had made a long time before he knew he was going to lose.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say this wasn't like a rash plan Sigmar.
Like you just had this, like just in case.
Yeah.
I have a backup plan.
Yep.
Interesting.
Like I said, we generally like Sigmar. We start to see a little bit of like I said, Sigmar was skimming souls off the top specifically for this plan if things went wrong. He had the anvil built a long time before Chaos showed up as like his contingency.
Yeah.
He's planning, but there's a little bit like he didn't tell anybody about either of those plans. There's a little bit of like, I don't know. It gives Sigmar a bevel to him, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
I would say. Wouldn't have been any of this if you didn't ask Nagash to join your special god club in the first place, though. If you just hit him in the face with a hammer when you saw him again and we moved the fuck on, I genuinely think it would have been better. Having him on the team didn't help in any way. Actively made it worse.
If a soul says yes, then they are taken to the Anvil of Apotheosis, and they are subjected to the 6 smiths. These are dwarves who were trained personally by Grungni,
of course,
to work with souls as a material.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It's so good. They reinforce the person's soul like you would smelt ore. They blast away imperfections on the anvil. They balance out impurities. They transfigure the person's soul into its most ideal form.
That's so interesting. What does that mean?
Oh, it's so good.
Okay. And that's the most dangerous part.
Yes.
What makes it? I mean, I can gather what makes it dangerous, but like canonically, what are the consequences of when it is dangerous and I would assume goes wrong?
Yeah, we don't know the percentage, but an amount of souls, even if they're willing, when subjected to the anvil, just can't handle it.
Interesting.
There's too much imperfection. There's not enough, and that can happen for a lot of different reasons. But
do we know why, or do we just know that sometimes it doesn't work?
Sometimes it doesn't work.
That's interesting.
It's a grueling process. Souls are not meant to be tampered with. No. It's kind of a profane thing, a little bit, doing what Sigmar is doing. That is Nagash's continuing beef with Sigmar, by the way, is that he's not just letting souls be souls. He's like fucking with them.
Yeah,
no, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
I do not. I will not do this like moral high ground. Like, oh, you're not like no, you're not either. What are you doing with the souls?
But like I said, we don't know the percentage, but a percentage of them are the verbiage that is used is a percentage of souls are blasted apart on the anvil.
Woof.
Yeah.
That reminds me in the Cassandra Clare Shadowhunter books. The Shadowhunters are this race of like demigod-esque semi-divine humans who have the ability to bear runes that give them magical powers and allow them to fight demons. Right? They are the ones who maintain order in this world, in the reality where demons sometimes spill over and you have to deal with that problem.
Yeah.
And they were given the ability to become Shadowhunters by the angel Raphael. Was it Raphael? I think it was Raphael. Anyway, he gave him a magic cup, and when you drink from the cup, that is how. So Shadowhunters are born. Like that is it's a bloodline biological trait. Like if a person who is a Shadowhunter has a child, that child is always a Shadowhunter. Like that's true. But you can also make more Shadowhunters if a more human, totally normal human, drinks from the cup, they become a Shadowhunter. Right. But it doesn't always work. Sometimes they literally burst into divine fire and die. And we have seen it happen like one time to a character we really liked. It was a real bummer. I'm still mad. And there was no indication. There's no reason for it. Like it literally is like some Shadowhunters believe it just indicates they weren't worthy and they were rejected by the angel. But others just the actual like there's no canonical, there's no lore reason. Like Cassandra Clare has never explained to like out of like canon why it is, but like we just don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Right. And I find that so interesting. And it is like they go in knowing you can train really hard, you can learn all this stuff, you can do all the things, you can be great, and at the end there's no guarantee. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of got that temper. There are people we know would have made excellent Stormcast that just for whatever reason their soul couldn't withstand the anvil. And we don't know what happens till like souls destroyed on the anvil. Yeah, I can't reflect on that too much. That I'll get access into. You will not get Gary clips on this one. We need to move on from the souls not surviving the anvil. The last part of the process, once the soul has been refined upon the anvil, is a little piece of Sigmar's own divinity
is mixed into it.
Tight.
That is what makes them eternal.
Yeah, you gotta come from somewhere.
Yeah. From that moment, the person is Stormcast, and their soul is tied forever to the anvil of apotheosis. If a Stormcast dies in the world, they wake on the anvil.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
really
kicks
cool.
ass.
I can see the image of that, someone waking up and like, oh, that's really cool.
Right. So
yeah, Dalton, this is so. Thank you, man. I would have been in a completely different mood if I had been able to be like, yeah, we'll record one more. I need to hear what happens next. Like, wow, what a 180! What a satisfying 180!
Right. So Sigmar,
and then they're gonna go kick some ass.
Yeah, they're gonna go kick some ass. Sigmar grabs souls of the worthy, the noble, the brave. He starts remaking them on the anvil into a Stormcast. You asked what it means to like have your like soul remade, to have your like perfections blasted away. Because a Stormcast, like when you die, your body dies. Like the actual physical content of what you are is gone. But Stormcast are physical beings.
Yeah.
It's just that their body is sourced from their soul.
They're like gems.
Yeah.
Like crystal gems from
that's
Steven
actually
Universe.
a
Like
really
the body
good.
is literally like a thing of light that comes straight from the gem, which is what they are.
Yeah, it's actually a really good metaphor. Like Stormcast are flesh and blood, but that flesh and blood is just like pulled from their soul. It is the truest representation of who they are. And so for most people, that just kind of ends up with them being almost like a physically idealized version of themselves. They just get Steve Rogers.
Yeah. You just get super soldier serumed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. With the weird quirk that all Stormcast are in the like 7 to 8 feet tall range. So I guess everyone's ideal self is like 2 feet taller.
I mean, if you're gonna go fight some chaos demons, getting a little bit of a height advantage.
Yeah.
So you can punt some fools. Yeah.
Absolutely. And also a part of it that I think is underexplored, and I will bet anything we're going to get more exploration on as the setting gets a little bit more developed, especially because we already have like an indication that this is a direction that we're probably going to be going. We know that there's at least one non-binary Stormcast.
I was literally just thinking about like, what about like non-gender conforming like individuals, like trans individuals, like that's so interesting.
Yeah,
like,
we're going to talk about them later. They're in my spoilers. The last half of my notes is called List of Stormcast I Think Kick Ass.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about them later. But yeah, like we know there's a Stormcast who's non-binary, and because your body is formed from your soul when you are a Stormcast, I would be shocked if there are not trans Stormcast.
Yeah.
Like that's the most obvious like storytelling beat you could possibly do. Come on, GW, just give us one.
Please hire trans writers to
do right.
Specific, because I think it'd be
God.
like I think it would be. I'm not a trans person. I cannot speak, but I can see there being a concern if every trans Stormcast is essentially cis afterwards.
Yes.
Like that. So I feel like you need to have trans writers and voices being able to speak to what that would feel like and be like, because I think the idea of your ideals version is not your body for every single person.
Right.
Would not be, I feel like, a likely true experience for trying to represent an entire community.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
You couldn't do in fiction in any way.
No.
But
you can at least do it better. Yeah.
You can always do it better. But like also like every non-binary Stormcast is androgynous. Which is like, that's also not a true identity or like a replicate of.
Right.
But still is true for some folks.
Yeah.
So like I think that's super cool, and that'd be really cool to be explored, and something that should be explored by folks who live that identity and can be the truest like version of sharing their own like, and let it be personal. Like, what do you want as the creator, and like what does that feel like? That beats ass. I'm really glad. Really?
Right.
And they don't even let ladies be the Space Marines in the other one, and this one literally has a canonically non-binary character. Right. It's not hard.
Right. This is probably a good way to segue into... I don't want to spend a lot of the episode on it because we're not a 40K podcast, but I do want to briefly, if you are familiar with Warhammer in general, and you are probably more familiar with Warhammer 40K, then you are probably familiar with Space Marines, because Space Marines are 40K's equivalent of what Stormcast are. They are like metahumans who are in service to the like leader of humans, basically. That is where the similarities end. And so if you, dear listener, are familiar with Space Marines, I just want to briefly, because I see it all the goddamn time, especially when Age of Sigmar was young, and there were a lot of people who were still bitter about the old world.
Yeah.
The term Sigmarine got thrown around, like Sigmar Marine.
Gross.
Yeah. And
Listen, I always love a...
portmanteau.
Thank you. Oh my god, Dalton, you know me. I always love a portmanteau. So in that way, I do love a portmanteau.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, gross.
Right. So, just briefly, Stormcast Space Marines both exist, and the similarities they share are for product reasons. They're for business reasons.
Really?
Yeah. Stormcast and Space Marines both have big flat panels of armor that are mostly in primary colors.
Which would explain why my roommate saw it and thought Space Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they always have, like when you are building the model, they always come with an option to have a helmeted face.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to learn how to paint skin, because it's really hard to paint skin.
Yeah.
So from a product perspective, Games Workshop has these two ranges of miniatures that if you want to get into their games, you can slap one solid coat of blue on them and they look fine.
Yeah. So that's a really good beginner.
Yeah.
Literally what was used for doing the
Yeah,
minifig thing.
exactly.
Yeah, that's why it was
Exactly.
picked. It's designed for that.
Yeah. You've got your simpler troops. You can buy a unit of like basic Stormcast troops and just paint them completely solid gold and they look fine. But then each range also has more complex miniatures, so that if you did start with those like easy to paint miniatures, you can grow your skills as you go up.
Nice.
That's a really good like product and marketing and synergy, and that is the entire reason that Stormcast and Space Marines have anything in common, because that's the end of it from a narrative perspective.
Yeah.
In contrast, 40K is a grimdark universe. It originated the term.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that before and I forgot.
Yeah, the intro line to every 40K novel is, "In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war," and it has been since the setting launched.
I love learning where origins of words come from.
Right, and so everything sucks in 40K, and that's the point.
Always will.
Yeah, and it always will.
Yeah.
It is a like zombie narrative where there's no chance of a cure, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell really interesting stories in that kind of setting, but that informs what your characters are going to be like.
Yeah.
So like in contrast to Stormcast, Space Marines are taken as children. They're indoctrinated into the ideals of the Imperium, which is mostly fascism. The Imperium is explicitly fascist. They worship the corpse of the Emperor of Mankind.
Ah!
Yep. Who they believe to be a literal god. He's our Sigmar equivalent, except he sucks ass and everyone hates him, except for humans.
Yeah.
Because they are taught to worship him. They are indoctrinated to worship him.
Yep.
Like I said, Space Marines are taken as children. They're indoctrinated. They are pumped full of steroids and hormones and biological augmentations to become the metahumans. They're not like rebuilt from their soul. It's almost the exact opposite, where their individuality is repressed so that they can be more perfect weapons.
Good lord.
Yeah. And then so consequentially, the stories that you can tell with Space Marines are very similar to the stories you can tell with like Star Wars clone troopers, right? Where you have this tabula rasa of a person who is then put into a complicated world and have means and ability to express themselves outside of the like intent decided for them. It is a very different approach to, like I said, Stormcast, who are interesting partially because they aren't a blank slate. They enter the service of Sigmar
Having
as
lived like a
Stormcast,
full
having
life.
lived a full life. Yeah.
Well, a full life cut short, but a life in which I'm assuming none of these are children. What if a kid?
We know of one person who was Stormcasted after dying as a child.
Okay.
But they don't come up much because, like, that's obviously kind of a weird thing
kind of a
to.
weird moment, but, like, in a world that is so horrible like that. And when we know Stormcast are picked because they died fighting against this horrible thing, I think acknowledging that young people in those situations also are not immune to the realities of it is very interesting.
Absolutely. So, just to cut it off at the pass.
But also, if the alternative is they go to
Nagash.
Thank you, Nagash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I have less qualms with you be picking the kid to join your Space Marines. God damn it!
I mean, yeah.
To join your warriors.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, well, they meet the criteria, and also the alternative is Nagash.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
very, very different circumstances.
yes, absolutely. So yeah, just to not a 40K podcast, but just
Not
to
a
cut it
40K
out,
podcast.
just to cut it off of the past, like Space Marines, like also Space Marines are by and large extremely evil. They're the military force of a fascist empire.
Yeah.
Like they suck, but everybody in 40K sucks. That's the standard.
Yeah.
So usually interesting stories about Space Marines is how they learned to not suck, and
classic.
usually die as a consequence.
Of course.
Because it's
grimdark.
Yeah, it's a grimdark universe.
Hope doesn't make it out alive.
No, but Stormcast aren't that. That's kind of the point of this tangent, is that Stormcast are allowed to tell other stories because that's not what they are.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's talk about more of what Stormcast are.
Yeah.
After Stormcast are remade, they wake up on the anvil, and they go into training. You do not have to have been a soldier to be remade as a Stormcast. And so most Stormcast need to just like learn how to fight after they're woken up. The official term for being turned into a Stormcast is being reforged.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
you're reforged upon the anvil.
Yeah.
Like, you were forged the first time, and you lived that life, and now you have been reforged as Stormcast.
Nice.
Also, every time a Stormcast dies, they're reforged. That's the process of being remade upon the anvil. Yeah. Stormcast train on Azir. There's a whole huge like military traded complex on Azir, basically for Stormcast, to teach them how to like function and fight as a cohesive army. Stormcast's the biggest disadvantage fighting chaos the first time is that if you kill a demon, it goes back to the plane of chaos and then it comes back, right? You can't kill a demon permanently.
It's like monsters going back to Tartarus in the Percy Jackson books.
Yeah. Same thing happens to Stormcast now. They're on an evil playing, or they're on an even playing field.
Nice.
And so Stormcast train, and then this is one of the coolest things about Stormcast. They don't open the gates of Azir. It's the last safe bastion. You can't just like open that up to potential chaos corruption. So when Stormcast are deployed to a fight, and we get a blitz of Stormcast at the end of the Age of Chaos, like the heralding of the Age of Sigmar is like every Stormcast that then exists, like arriving to the fight, and they arrive to the fight literally tossed as lightning bolts from Sigmar's own hand.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool! What?
Stormcast have lightning in their souls.
Your Heart Out Pony Express. Damn, lightning in their soul.
Yeah. A Stormcast can ride a lightning bolt as you'd ride a train. Like,
dude, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like someone just like, all right, time to write and figure out the lore for Sigmar's like elite fighting force. All right, do a line of cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. What's the coolest shit you liked as a kid?
just the image of like a force of chaos warriors descending upon a town, and there is just a monumentous crack of thunder accompanied by a lightning bolt that hits the earth, and where it leaves scorch marks, Stormcast are there and ready to push back.
That is like Thor showing up in the MCU.
Yeah.
Damn, that's really cool.
It's so good. The same thing like happens in reverse when Stormcast dies. Their soul returns to lightning, and they literally shoot back up into Azir as lightning bolts.
Cool.
Right? Some Stormcast, it varies from Stormcast to Stormcast. There's a lot of like quirks in the reforging process. Some Stormcast erupt so violently when they die that it can like hurt the enemies around them.
Oh my, there's a move you can get in Hades, like a boon from Zeus, that's called like Vengeance.
Yep.
And if when you get injured, it sends a lightning blast out that like hurts the enemies around you. I stacked that bad boy so hard.
But the only downside to this is that Stormcast can't willingly travel back to Azir by lightning bolt. Generally, the only way for a Stormcast to get back is to like find a realm gate that can get them back to Azir, or die.
Or die.
And they'll wake up on the anvil. It's fine.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, but like, oh, we won. Great.
Yeah. There are
And
a
then
lot
the town's
of
like, so are you leaving? It's like, yeah. I guess it's like the dramatic arrival, and Village is like, okay, I'm just gonna where's the nearest store? I guess I'll walk.
Yeah. There's a lot of instances of, because even though Sigmar had a long time to build them up, there's still not a ton of Stormcasts. Like only some people can be picked for it.
You only pick certain people, and not everybody survives the forging process. So
Absolutely.
The reforging process.
Absolutely. And so there are a lot of instances of like, okay, what's the bare minimum number of Stormcast we need to like fix this problem, to break this siege, to like fight back against this force. And like, we're going to send exactly that many and no more, because they will do the job and they will die to a man. And that's like the ideal, like...
It's like working for an understaffed retail department.
Yeah, honestly.
It's Black Friday.
All that being said, we've had a little bit of a heroic high here. I'm going to bring us a little bit down. Yeah, not all is well with the process of reforging.
Okay.
So we've talked about the core concept, right? Stormcast goes down, they fight hard, they die, they go back to the anvil, they're remade, they do it all again.
How many times can the soul handle having that done to you?
Hey, you've got it.
Hey.
So Stormcast are functionally immortal, but any creature with a soul, when it dies, is going to sustain damage to their soul.
Yeah.
That's just a consequence of dying.
Yeah.
Most people only die once. So it's
Famously.
it's not generally a thing that is very impactful. But when you are remaking a person from their soul every time they die, it is like trying to stretch less and less of a sheet over the same like amount of space every time.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So...
Hey, I know who's someone we can talk to about fucking with souls.
Every time a Stormcast dies, it takes something from them. And that can be small, like not remembering a face or a name, or it can be a lot bigger. It kind of depends on the severity of how they died and how many times it's been. Stormcast who go through it too much call it being lost to the storm. Because...
really good name.
Right.
You know what? Listen, I feel like early on there were a lot of, hey, this name kind of sucks. But recently there's been a run of like, wow, what a good name, what a good title. Damn, what a good collection of proper nouns altogether.
Right. A Stormcast who is lost to the storm has forgotten everything except for how to fight.
Ooh.
That's another little bevel to Sigmar as a person, is that through
there's no retirement.
No.
There's no point where if you die again you lose everything, so we'll keep you somewhere else.
Reforging, the process itself, is also seemingly designed to preserve the part of you that knows how to fight.
So there were things that were prioritized.
Again,
you don't lose your fighting skills.
Right. Again, it makes sense, but it's a little bevel there to
eventually
Sigmar.
Lose what made you you.
Yes. Which is interesting because remember, Stormcast are picked for what makes them them.
Yeah.
It's kind of a... So I'll cut to the note I have at the end here. It's not a secret amongst the AOS community. It's called the Reforging Flaw, officially. Yeah. The Reforging Flaw is a metaphor for like the PTSD experience, the dehumanizing nature of war.
Yeah.
Where a Stormcast never stops being an effective soldier. But the things that made them able to be a good soldier, be a good person in the first place, do get lost. That's the price they pay for trying to build the better world that they want.
Damn.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, okay. What happens when, like, a storm has, like, lost to the storm? Like, what?
It depends.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, the early consequences of the Reforging Flaw can be, like, you lose a little bit of yourself, but it also makes you kind of weird. Like I said, messing with souls is already a little bit of a profane art, even if you're doing it for a good purpose. So Stormcast will get very weird imperfections if they're like when they're remade. Fun fact: there is a official Age of Sigmar tabletop RPG called Soulbound.
Great name.
Yeah. If you play a Stormcast character in Soulbound, it has a table of reforging flaws that you can come back with.
Hey, that's so cool. Do you pick or do you roll?
You roll.
That makes more sense. They don't pick what they lost.
No. Your eyes are filled with storm clouds. Rain can't touch you is one of them, which is so haunting.
Spooky.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of stuff that can go like really weird with reforging, but the end consequence is there's kind of two things that happen to a Stormcast who reforges too much. So the first is the good ending. If a Stormcast is reforged so much that they are no longer a reliable soldier outside of pure combat ability. So like they don't take orders well, they don't remember like what they're supposed to be doing. Then often what happens is, you made a joke about no retirement homes earlier, which isn't actually strictly true.
Oh.
There are places in Azir that Sigmar has erected called the Bleak Citadels.
Okay, man. Maybe we should talk about branding.
Yeah. I don't think that's their official name, actually. I think that's just what the Stormcast call them.
Okay, that makes sense for the Storm class to...
Yeah. Stormcast can't properly die. You can't just like send a Stormcast to rest. So one who has reforged too much often gets sent to the Bleak Citadels as kind of a retirement home, or a combination of a retirement home and an asylum.
That's what I was thinking, because at that point, you've lost anything. There's nothing left for you except for combat.
Yeah.
You can't even like enjoy a hobby anymore.
Yeah. A lot of the Bleak Citadels are just a bunch of Stormcasts just kind of staring off into space. So much of themselves lost that they don't even have intent anymore unless there's someone to like yell at them to fight, basically.
Yeah.
Which is not great. They're often portrayed as kind of stoic monasteries, Stormcasts who are closer to the storm kind of being shepherded by ones who are a little bit further back, ones who still have enough of their wits to self-direct. But it's ultimately a pretty bleak, fittingly existence. That's the good ending.
Oh, shit.
For if you reforge too many times.
The good ending.
The worst ending is if you get too close to the storm and then you reforge more, eventually there's just not enough of you
There's
left.
no material.
Yeah. To like manifest a body again. You arrive back at the anvil not as yourself, even a very flawed version of yourself, but you remanifest on the anvil as something called a Geist.
Is there a visual of a Geist?
There is not a visual of a Geist, unfortunately. Right?
Wait, like,
right?
Okay, like in general, I thought you meant, for a second I thought like, wait, you didn't add one? And I'm like, oh no, you mean
no,
there's not
we don't really know what Geists are like, because
it's such a closely guarded secret. Sigmar does not want that information getting out to the public.
They are basically formless. The only thing that's left of them is that tiny spark of Sigmar's soul and lightning. Yeah.
So, that was kind of... Okay, this is not what it is. I just read a graphic novel called... Oh, is it up here? I think it's downstairs, actually. Called Halloween. And it's super cute. It's very fun. I highly recommend. Won't talk about it right now. But there's like a Halloween world. Like a Halloween hellscape, essentially. And a bunch of creatures come out. And one of the creatures are these, like, bats that are just big fuzzy things with little bat wings and just one big eye. So I am picturing that. So, like, but made of lightning. I mean, and that is not it at all. But that is, since there's no canonical image, that my brain has decided it's a lightning bat with one big storm cloud eye.
We know, like I said, they're basically formless lightning elementals. Any sense of who they were before is gone. But this ability to fight's still there. And now they have nothing left to cling to of that like camaraderie or knowing who their enemy is. A lightning Geist is immensely dangerous. They're just a force of nature at that point.
They're just a storm.
Yeah. Completely lost to the storm. But they still can't die.
Or could you maybe take back your little piece of divinity?
There's no way to do it that we're aware of. What happens to most of them is they get sealed. You just have to contain them in something.
Put them in a bottle.
I mean, a little, yeah.
No, it's just like string of bottles and they're glowing and it's like storm guys.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. But think of the ambiance.
Here's a little peek into the general like foreboding that Stormcast tend to approach the world from. A lot of them get sealed into statues that are who they were in life, like statues of themselves. And those statues are prominently displayed on the streets of Azirheim, the capital city of Azir, as a reminder of what the cost of not like winning this war is. That even those who can't permanently die still sacrifice for this victory.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, no, I mean it's foreboding.
Especially
it's
in
dour.
Azirheim, where it's the only place untouched
Yes.
by this, and it would
Yes.
be probably easy for the citizens who live there to get to act like it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
And so that real and stark reminder of the reality that they don't have to face, I think is actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's poignant. It's just woof.
But like, woof. Let's say, I imagine Stormcast know that they are going to get one or the other ending regardless, and I wonder if there's a general preference. I think I'd rather get sealed in a statue of who I used to be.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
It seems like most Stormcasts just kind of try not to think about it.
Oh, yeah, like we do with death,
absolutely,
just in general.
yeah.
We just try not to think about that.
We're going to win this war before it gets to that point. And I might not remember everything, but I'll be there. I'll be me still.
I'll be me, and I'll get to see our victory.
Yes.
Woof.
Yeah. It's heavy. It's heavy. And that's, like I said,
that's when the cocaine wore off.
Yeah. that kind of double-edged gift of immortality, of you are immortal with everything that brings with it.
You are immortal, but you are not a god.
No, absolutely. Stormcast get sent down into the realms. The first wave of Stormcast arriving in the realms sparks what in universe is known as the Realm Gate War.
Yeah, what a good name.
Right? Sigmar knows that controlling the Realm Gates is the key to denying Chaos's victory.
Yeah.
Chaos's ultimate goal is to corrupt the Realm Gates.
Yeah,
and,
we talked about that.
Yeah.
You get it all, you can just basically pull it in.
Absolutely.
Like a black hole.
Yeah, and the key to Archaon's ultimate victory was controlling the All Gates, the gates that led to the realms from the All Points.
Yeah.
And so the Realm Gate Wars is exactly what it sounds like. Directed assaults on big, important Realm Gates. Basically every Stormcast in existence pulling a blitz on just every important Realm Gate they could find.
That's really cool.
Oh, yeah. Kicks ass. Stormcast find Gorka Morka.
Nice.
He's chilling. Gorka Morka and the people who follow him.
And what does chillin' look like for Gorka Morka?
Fighting. Gorka Morka and the people who follow him have been doing basically fine during the Age of Chaos. It sucks more than it used to, but they are generally okay with conflict.
Yeah.
The orcs are fine. The goblins are fine.
They don't hang out
Yeah,
anymore,
they don't hang out anymore, but they're generally fine. They go looking for the elves and they can't find them. We're not sure where.
Like anywhere?
No, yeah. We're not, well,
Shit.
they find elves. Sorry. They go looking for the elven gods. And they can't find them.
Yeah,
They find elves. They can't find Tyrion and Teclis. And they can't find, like, Marathi and Malarian have spent the last 500 years being extremely good at not being found.
Yeah, that makes sense for them. Honestly,
Yeah.
on brand, no notes.
Yep.
The other two, though.
Yeah. Grungni's still in his ear. He's helping with the anvil. Like, this was as much his project as it was Sigmar's, honestly. I mean, he had the tech that made it possible. My favorite is when Stormcast go to Shaiish. So Nagash's plan to just like pull his forces back and like board up the windows to Shaiish and pretend like no one's home. Basically just like concentrate all his power on keeping the realm of death. Keeping the realm of death free from chaos if nowhere else was. Failed.
Yeah.
As soon as Archaon could direct his full force on Shaiish, it fell like everywhere else.
Interesting. Is it because Sigmar was literally able to seal it off in a way that like the other gods weren't able to do?
Yes.
Or also because there were no chaos already there.
Correct.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. There was no chaos on Azir, and Sigmar sealed the gate behind him.
He also went and wrecked shop in Shaiish, if I recall.
Yep.
So I bet that didn't help the whole no one's home.
Yep. He stole Catacrys's soul.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He like really did fuck him up. I forgot. Yeah.
Yep. Catacrys is not a Stormcast. Catacrys got like put in a jar and thrown in the ocean. Basically just to spite Nagash.
Yeah, he would not. Yeah, they would not make a good Stormcast.
No, absolutely
I don't think
not.
they would.
Absolutely not. Archaon beats the shit out of Nagash. He destroys his mortal form, or like his physical body. There's no accuracy in calling any part of Nagash mortal. But he destroys Nagash's physical body, and Nagash's like disciples take the pieces of Nagash's body and just like split.
And just skip town.
Yeah. all of the realms operate where the magic of that realm is strongest at the edges. So Nagash's disciples take his remains and they take them to the various edges of the realm. It makes it harder for anyone to try and come get all pieces of him, and it helps him regenerate faster because Shaiishi and magic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Stormcast arrive in Shaiish as like Nagash is starting to reform.
Oh,
He's still very weak. If when Sigmar let Nagash out, he was trying to like play nice and be like, look, I am greeting you as an equal. Let's do this cooperation against chaos together.
Yeah.
When Stormcast find Nagash,
That's
it
not
is
the vibe.
it is
No, that vibe is over.
Shotgun diplomacy. It is, you are still the god of the dead, and you are going to push back chaos from your realm, and we aren't going to fuck with you while you're doing that. But we swear to God, if you ever pull the Battle of Burning Skies again, we will chain your remains to a star. Like, just no quarter, like, we're not playing nice anymore. You suck, and we will replace you if we have to.
It's been 500 years. Was there not also a side plan on replacing Nagash? Like,
probably
I'm just saying. Surely, if you're already collecting the souls of those who have died, I think the soul of a mortal who has died would make a pretty good god of the dead. Personally. Speaking of the endless, death, the manifestation of, lives one day alive every 100 years just to remember why living things are afraid of her.
That's a great policy, yeah.
I feel like it should be required.
We are going to start to see, and we're going to talk about it more as we talk more about the Age of Sigmar, but here we start to see the emergence of what in the Age of Sigmar are known as the Grand Alliances.
Okay.
These are not like literal formal alliances. There's no paperwork involved, but in the modern day of Age of Sigmar, all the factions that we see tend to align themselves with one of four kind of core philosophies, basically. This is where we start to see that emerge.
Nice.
The Grand Alliance of Order is where Sigmar is. It's where Stormcasts are. We're going to see like the dwarves and whatnot realign with that. The Caradron from before. Order does not mean good.
No.
The Caradron are hyper-capitalist sky pirates. Are order. Because you need order to do commerce. Yeah. Grand Alliance Chaos is self-explanatory. It's the Chaos Gods and their followers. Grand Alliance Death is Nagash and all his skeleton friends. And Grand Alliance Destruction is Gorka Morka and the orcs and the ogres and the giants.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
They don't rejoin the Pantheon. They've been having a fine enough time.
Yeah.
And frankly, they're not super chill with, because they get the sense that maybe Sigmar is going to be a little bit more tight-leashed than he was during the Age of Myth.
Yeah.
And they're not super vibing with that.
That makes sense.
So they're just kind of doing their own thing. But so we're going to talk about Grand Alliances in the future. It's very common for me to refer to things by like Grand Alliance. This has a common thing behind it. Like this is a certain characteristic of Grand Alliance. So I wanted to mention that now.
Thank you.
Yeah. But real quick, Realm Gate Wars. Stormcast hit the Ignis Gate, the gate that they retreated through from Akshi back into Azir.
Yeah.
At the end of the Battle of Burning Skies, they take it back. And part of the Stormcast strategy is Stormcast are still few. If they have to fight this war by themselves, they're never going to win.
No, they need allies.
Yes. So Stormcast take important realm gates, and they found cities on them. Yeah.
Very good. That's very good.
Yeah. So Stormcast grab the Ignis Gate. They lead humans from Azir through it. And they found the city of Hammerhall.
Great name.
They don't actually found the city of Hammerhall on the Ignis Gate, which is kind of funny. They go to, I can never remember what it's called, because it's eventually going to be called the Hammerhall Gate.
Great.
But they like escort those humans basically to what will become known as the Hammerhall Gate, and they found Hammerhall there. The Hammerhall Gate leads between Akshi and Gairan, the realm of life.
Yeah.
And so Hammerhall has two sides. The city of Hammerhall spans from Akshi to Gairan with the realm gate in the middle of it.
That's really cool.
It's very cool.
That's really cool.
in the modern day, post like Realmgate Wars, Hammerhall is the largest human settlement outside of Azir. It is basically the capital of like Sigmar's forces outside of Azir, and it has a stable human dwarf elf population. Like,
Nice.
yeah, all are welcome in Hammerhall. Basically, that's the idea. We still have to work together.
We have to work
like
together.
the Battle of Burning Skies did not teach Sigmar like, oh, I was wrong to trust others. It taught him, I should have been more trusting. We should have made these plans together. This should have been like,
This really needed to have been a group project.
yes, absolutely. They, like I said,
just rely everybody, like, as in we all hang out at my house and have chips and work on it together, not just assume everyone else is doing their part at their own houses.
Yep. Stormcast hit Ghyran, obviously. They want to liberate Ghyran to get like food and medicine back to the populace.
We really gotta deal
yes.
with the life place where we get our food.
Sigmar specifically tasks a Stormcast that I love to death. He's my favorite Stormcast. A man named Gardas Steelsoul.
Okay, pretty good.
Specifically tasks him with finding Alariel. Other Stormcasts are going to hit realm gates. They're going to try and secure territory. Gardas' job is to find the goddess of life and bring her, like, help her, like, get her back on her feet, and then try and get her behind this like revolution movement.
Yeah.
He does. He tracks down the Lady of Vines.
How does Lady of Vines react to this?
Worried.
Yeah,
like
of course.
she doesn't know if this is just another fucking chaos plot. But
it's been 500 years she's been protecting the pod.
Yeah.
Did I make a Rory Williams, Last Centurion, and the oh god, what is the cube called? The big cube. They're gonna trap the Doctor in it. The Tesseract. It's Rory Williams protecting the Tesseract for 1,000 years with Amy inside it.
Yeah, but Gardas, one of Gardas's.
That was a Doctor Who reference.
Yeah.
I knew you knew, Dalton, and I know any listeners who know will know. But anyone who doesn't know, I like to cite that's what that was.
Yeah.
Going on.
One of Gardas's traits as a character is that he is particularly immune to chaos corruption. All Stormcasts are immune to chaos corruption, but Gardas is so immune that he kind of cleanses it around himself, which
Good
kicks
guy to
ass.
send after the goddess of life.
Right. It's going to make sense why when we talk more specifically about him, I love Gardas so much. And so Gardas finds the Lady of Vines. He manages to convince her that he's an ally, partially because like chaos corruption like peels away from him as he walks.
Pretty good evidence.
He and the Lady of Vines like fight off a like group of chaos warriors who were chasing the Lady of Vines, and the act of fighting them off and life magic and like heavenly magic intermingling and purifying the area where they're fighting is enough to wake Alariel from her soul pod. Yeah.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
It worked.
Alariel returns from her soul pod. Every time she goes into her soul pod and wakes, she comes out in a different season.
Yeah.
When we last saw her, she was in spring, growth and renewal and like joy and like big things. She comes out of her soul pod this time in fall.
Interesting. So it's not like the cyclical.
No.
Interesting.
It's just different
fall
every
is
time.
Decay.
Decay, reaping, war.
This is an appropriate aesthetic to be bringing to this table.
Yes. War. She comes out in her most warlike form ever, ready to fight for what she needs to fight for.
Hell yes.
Right. I'm going to leave that for a second. We're going to talk real briefly, mostly because I have pictures to accompany them.
Yay!
About some of the like organization of Stormcasts, because I think it's interesting. Stormcasts are organized in two main ways. Stormcasts are organized by chamber, which is a description of function, and host, which is a like philosophy that guides them, basically. So you can have a host is generally a larger organization, and it will have many chambers within it. So examples of notable Stormhost, like I said, Stormhost is a philosophy. This is like we have been recruited in a certain way, or our job is such a specific thing that we train like unique from other Stormcast, and we are organized around that. So the Hammers of Sigmar are the oldest Stormhosts. They were the first put together. These are the people Sigmar gathered during the Age of Myth, who he thought were like notable enough even before Chaos reached the world to be Stormcast again.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a long time coming.
Yes, they are the largest Stormhost because they are not exclusively that. If you don't get specialized into another host. Basically, you end up as a Hammer of Sigmar.
Mm-hmm.
They are generalists. They also have like all of the important named characters in the lore because they were the first.
Of course.
The first reforging.
His track's line. Yep.
The Anvils of Heldenhammer are another Storm host. They are not reforged from people who died during the Age of Chaos or the Age of Sigmar. They are reforged from people who died like earlier in the Age of Myth. They did not make the choice when they died. This is part of the group that Sigmar stole from Nagash when he went on a rampage there.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
The Anvils of Heldenhammer are reforged from long dead souls stolen from Nagash. Yes.
Yeah.
They generally have a kind of dark and brooding disposition about them. They've been dead for a while.
Get that.
But they have a lot of old knowledge. They're kind of like the librarians of like the Stormcast hosts. They have forgotten more than any of us will ever know, right? That's kind of they're generally regarded as like tacticians amongst Stormcast. And often the Anvils will show up alongside other hosts who act as like command, even if the rest of their like ground forces aren't there.
That's really cool.
Right? I like them a lot. The Hallowed Knights.
Hey, I like that term.
Yeah, the Hallowed Knights are Gardas' hosts. They're the most faithful. They believe in Sigmar not only as their like commander and the person who saved them from death, but as a god.
Yeah.
They like literally worship Sigmar in that like godly way. They're excellent at purging chaos corruption. Because of that, they're overtly holy. And they tend to take on missions that others won't touch. They're a little bit of a specialist chapter in that they are willing to...
This is the Bad Batch.
Yes. Yep. We're willing to venture into the worst places in the realms because through Sigmar, all things are possible.
Nice.
The Astral Templars. I love the Astral Templars.
What a cool title.
Right. The Astral Templars only recruit from one group of humans native to Gur, who are like a barbarian tribe who managed to eke out survival during the Age of Chaos, largely by being a barbarian tribe.
Yeah.
They have kept kind of a big Viking energy all throughout all throughout the Age of Chaos, going to war to protect self and home and country, reveling in the fighting as an act of like worship. Notably amongst Stormcast, they are polytheistic. They do not worship Sigmar as the god. They worship him as one of many god. And
there are several.
Yeah. And as Stormcast, they keep a lot of their like tribal traditions. As Stormcast, if they have like free time, they will just go and hang out with their still living descendants in their like barbarian tribes. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Right.
That's really cool.
Right. They it's a little bit of pragmatism too, because it's so easy for Stormcast to get like dour, to get reflective about kind of the eternity waiting for them with these horrifying fights, and if they fall too much, what they will become. And the Astral Templars push back against that by embracing every moment. Yeah. Just like they would have done in life when their threat was death. Yeah. Right? They drink, they revel, they host parties in Azirheim that not a lot of Stormcasts attend because...
like, no.
Yeah.
That's weird. Like, you're weird. Fuck my party.
They're just big polytheistic like Viking berserker Stormcasts, which kicks ass.
I love that.
And then our
Sigh.
The Knights Excelsior.
Oh, what the hell?
So we saw a side of Sigmar, right? At the end of the Age of Myth, when in retribution for Nagash turning on him at the Battle of Burning Skies, Sigmar did not make a tactical play to go through Shyish. He did not like make a calculated decision to go do this thing. He just let himself run rampant out of spite and
I'm sure there
rage.
were consequences to that, but I will maintain no notes. No, absolutely. Babe deserved it.
All Stormcast are in a way a reflection of Sigmar. The things he values are what gets you picked to be a Stormcast. Yeah. The Knights Excelsior are Stormcast, or are Sigmar's rage.
Interesting. Okay.
Where
do they come from?
Anyone who died fighting chaos who can't give it up.
Oh, just the anger of it.
Knights Excelsior do not build. They do not foster community. They do not protect.
I don't want to hang out with these
ones. They kill.
They do not. They definitely aren't coming to these parties.
No, absolutely not. Knight Excelsior loves nothing more than destroying the enemies of Sigmar, fighting chaos wherever it can be found,
Yeah,
and
we do
their
need that.
bar for what is a violation worthy of annihilation
It's very low,
is
I imagine.
low.
It's so low
Yeah.
we could trip over it.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yep. Knights Excelsior aren't looked favorably upon by other chapters.
No, I can't imagine.
They are a little bit of, like Sigmar's kind of dirty, like, secret.
Yeah.
They're not secret. People know what the Knights Excelsior are,
Yeah.
but they're not something you brag about. Even
No.
people who like Sigmar worry about the Knights Excelsior because they are just uncompromising annihilators.
This is bad news.
They're rough.
Bad news bears.
They're rough. Most storm hosts get assigned to a city where they think there might be some chaos corruption happening, and they try and root it out and protect the city and purify things that have been desecrated. The Knights Excelsior burn it to the ground. Any chaos corruption is bad, and anyone who knew about it, even if they weren't involved, is complicit.
Feels like we shouldn't be sending those guys out.
Correct.
Feels like that's not helpful.
Yeah.
Actually.
You'd think, but
What the fuck?
send them to the front line when there's low risk of friendly fire.
I mean, yes,
They're just-
do
yeah.
that. Like, send
Yes.
him to a battlefield, but not like
Yes.
a city to do a job.
Yeah. It's kind of if you pray for Stormcast aid, you hope you don't get the
And gotta be very specific.
Yeah, Excelsior. But those are examples of hosts. Like I said, that's a kind of philosophical thing. Every host contains chambers. That's more of a description of role. The largest is the warrior chamber. And this is partially to do reforging. So most Stormcaster warrior chamber, that's just you're big, you are wearing armor. We're going to hand you one of 3 melee weapons,
Have
and
fun.
you're going to go be in the warrior chamber.
Nice.
Foot soldiers, basic range units, some wizards and priests.
Some wizards.
Yeah, they're unspecialized. They're just here. After the warrior chamber, there's our first specialized chamber, the vanguard chamber. That's going to be the guy on
a griffin.
Yeah, that's going to be the guy riding the griffin.
Really cool. Really cool griffin.
The vanguard are scouts and assassins. They often ride mounts native to Azir who have a trait called riding the winds etheric, which basically means that they can just like dip back onto Azir during a movement, functionally letting them teleport. Very fast, excellent scouts. Also, some Stormcast that have spent a lot of time with mounts that can ride the winds of Theric learn to ride the winds of Theric themselves.
That's really cool.
It's very cool.
Very neat.
After the Vanguard Chamber, we have one of my favorites, the Sacrosanct Chamber.
Okay, this is cool.
Yeah, that's that lady shooting lightning in the background.
Yeah. Just complete, absolute, yeah,
Yes.
big vibes.
The Sacrosanct Chamber is technically an administrative chapter. They are researchers, and officially their job is to help with the reforging process, to like recover as much of a person's soul as they can each time they're reforged. But there is a point we're going to talk about where things got dour enough, or they got dire enough, that Sigmar just needed everybody to the front. And so he pulled the Sacrosanct Chamber into the field. They are universally extremely powerful wizards. Even their like foot troops are magically capable and good at spellcasting, and they have the absolute best like unique wizards and stuff.
Cool.
Bar none.
Eat your heart out, Teclis.
Absolutely. Next is the Extremist Chamber, which is dragons.
There is in fact dragons here. I am seeing the dragons.
I couldn't find like good artwork, so that's just an actual Stormcast miniature. But yeah, the Extremist Chamber are heavy cavalry. They're shock cav. Their goal is to like blitz a location and then get out. They have formed a symbiotic bond with the children of Dracothian. Yeah.
No, that's like really good. Like,
Yeah.
of course they do.
I was gonna say.
It's very like Wolf Riders and Elf Quest.
Yeah, it's as Dracothian carried Sigmar in his initial journey through the realms. Dracothian's children carry the Stormcast to liberate them once more.
I love that.
It's very good.
I love
it's
that.
very good. And then we have,
Another side.
yeah,
Oh, this guy looks like a bummer.
yeah.
That's like a bummer zone.
So remember when I talked about the Bleak Citadels?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So this is actually a recent lore development.
Ooh.
Shit's got real bad, even by the standards of like Age of Sigmar, very recently. and it has compelled Sigmar to sending
To
Stormcast
redeploy the
close to the
retired-
storm. Yeah.
Yikes.
They need handlers. They need people to point them in the right direction so that they know what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
But they are often the most experienced Stormcasts in existence.
They're going to die one time and become a Stormgeist.
Yeah, that is a very real possibility every time. This lad is they are called the newly formed Ruination Chamber.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this guy's one of them.
Yeah. He looks like same silhouette.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ruination Chamber Stormcasts do have some advantages. It's not all downsides. Again, they're extremely capable warriors because they have those instincts and those like habits forged to an absolute point through all of their service. Also, not having much of a soul left can be an advantage on a battlefield. A lot of harmful magics and like negative effects and stuff target the soul, and a lot of that stuff just washes off of Ruination
There's nothing for it
Stormcast.
to grab onto.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Specifically, the thing that got Sigmar to pull them out is that a huge chunk of Akshi recently got like corrupted basically by chaos magic.
Shit.
And Ruination Stormcast are the only people who can safely navigate it.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, if you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I can't see anybody in here, and actually got hit, and this is you already kind of have this thing. It's like, yeah, you got to make bad calls in a shitty war.
Yep. So that's the Ruination Chamber. It's rough out there.
It's rough out there, gang.
But those are hosts and chambers. I'm going to speed up our pace a little bit. I want to mention one more important thing that happens during the Realm Gate Wars. We're going to be talking about the Realm Gate Wars for a little bit more. Kind of the structure going forward is I want to kind of go by Grand Alliance. We're going to spend the Realm Gate Wars talking a lot about the members of Grand Alliance Order.
That makes sense.
And then we'll get into like fun fact or spoiler. Notice the thing after the Realm Gate Wars is the Soul Wars.
Oh shit! I wonder who's involved in the Soul Wars.
Yeah, the Soul Wars, and let's just really rip that cover off. The Necroquake.
What a stupid. Next to Sharknado. Never had I heard a natural disaster with such a wacky ass name.
And then following the Necroquake is the
Necroquake. Tell me to sci-fi. July 2025.
following that is the Era of the Beast, which is where we're going to be talking about Grand Alliance destruction is my intent.
Of course, it'd be their era.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one of the big things else that happens before we just get into my big long list of cool characters I love, one of the special missions that Sigmar sends the Hammers of Sigmar on is the retrieval of Galmaraz.
Oh.
Because remember, at the Battle of Burning Skies, Sigmar tried to one-shot Archaon by just fucking light speed throwing it at him. Yep.
Not work.
Nope. Archaon read him like a book, but Galmaraz is a uniquely powerful holy artifact. There's no way that even if they'd tried to like store it in the realm of chaos, it would have just ejected itself eventually.
It's not going to fly.
Absolutely. So they know it has to be.
It is going to fly, but not like that.
Yeah. They know it has to be somewhere in the realms. Eventually, Stormcast track the hammer down. They find it secured in a chaos fortress that was built in Shaman, specifically to house it.
Atraxia.
Yeah. Galmaraz was originally made by dwarves, and it's metal, so it being kept in the dwarven realm of metal is weirdly poignant. Yeah. And even though they have to hit the fortress multiple times, a lot of Stormcast die and are reforged and have to come back. They do eventually manage to retrieve Galmaraz and return it to Azir.
We need that.
Right. But Sigmar is not the person who's going to be wielding it going forward.
Whoa, what?
He doesn't trust himself to do it anymore.
Oh,
From this
confidence shook.
From this point forward, we never see Sigmar outside of Azirheim again.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's done being on the front lines. He considers what happened at the Battle of the Burning Skies, like throwing Galmaraz to try and get Archaon and being read like a book. That's like when his power faded from him. That's when all that like trust in civilization faded out and the battle turned. And he was the last person fighting Archaon when the old world died as well. Yeah. So he's kind of, like I said, when I say the Sigmar's in a bit of a place, that's going to persist.
Yeah. Okay, I see that.
The big climax of the Realm Gate Wars, it's not the climax of the Realm Gate Wars, but the big climax of that first blitz is that Stormcast managed to push into the all points. They find the all gates. They bash through the chaos fortresses that have been erected there, and they manage to permanently seal Akshi and Gairan's gates shut.
Hey, okay.
Yep. So chaos can't get to Akshi and Gairan from the all points anymore, which is huge.
It's huge for us.
Yes. With Nagash's help, again, holding him at gunpoint the whole time, they manage to take the Shyish gate. They can't seal it.
Interesting.
And it's not clear why in the moment, but we come to learn that it's because Nagash is intermingled into the power of Shyish, and he doesn't want it closed.
This little bitch.
So he plays it coy, and I wonder why the Shyish gate can't close. That's crazy.
It's like weird because we've closed several others just fine.
Stormcast basically don't help taking the Gur gate at all, but they clear the path for orcs to take the Gur
got
gate.
this. They'll be
Yeah,
fine.
orcs don't close the Gur gate because frankly they don't know how.
Yeah.
Or orcs don't really occupy the Gur gate, but they just are there, and they're enough of a ruckus that chaos can't really take it back. They just get
Just can't get
beat
past
up
that.
every time they try. Ulgu's gate is interesting because Ulgu is Marathi and Malarian's domain.
Yeah.
And Ulgu's gate is still open. It's still open even into the modern day. But anything that goes through the 8-point side of the Ulgu gate just disappears.
It's just kind of... Oh, no. Oh, no.
So we don't know what's up with the Ulgu gate, but we have some guesses. I think probably Malarian and Marathi just diverted it into a star or something. Like,
That's pretty good.
it's very good. Shaman is still controlled by chaos. They just can't manage to wrest it from Tzeentch's control. Tzeentch is pretty much fully in control of Shaman, and that's going to persist into the modern day as well.
That'll happen.
The dwarves that live there basically only manage to do so because they're Caradron. They have their like floating sky fortress cities that can move constantly to like get away from demon incursions and stuff.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caradron actually find like little realm gates in the sky that like aren't normally accessible, and so they can travel between the realms without using the main realm gates, which is how they conduct commerce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I was gonna say, wait, the Caradron are strictly on the side of order, but they're like
Only because you can't have commerce with chaos.
Yep. So that's a brief summary of like Stormcast bursts into the realms. They do a bunch of cool stuff. They're going to keep showing up as we talk about other factions and like history and stuff that's going on. We're already deep into this episode, but I want to go through my list of cool characters I think kick ass.
Yeah.
The first one should be a guy with big Art Deco wings.
Yes, there is. Yes, he does.
That is the Celestant Prime.
Cool. Okay.
Right? I love him. He's the first Stormcast. The first one ever made. Sigmar handcrafted him himself, infused him with his divinity, and he laid there on the anvil and refused to wake up.
Bud.
And Sigmar was like, what the fuck is wrong? He like set him to the side. He wasn't sure what like was wrong. He made other Stormcasts. They were fine, but something just
Sometimes
wouldn't.
the first pancake just doesn't turn out.
Something just wouldn't let the Celestin Prime wake. When the Stormcast got back from Shaman with Galmaraz, Sigmar took it and he put it in the Celestin Prime's hands. And once Galmaraz was placed in the Celestin Prime's hands, he awoke.
Why?
So the speculation, we don't have confirmation, and we're never going to get confirmation.
No.
But the speculation is that while all of the Stormcast are people from the Age of Sigmar, the speculation is that the Celestin Prime is from the Old World. When Sigmar fought Archaon right at the end of the world, he couldn't manifest properly. He was embodying the body of the last human emperor, Karl Franz. Karl Franz died during the end times. But the theory is that enough of his soul was like left in his body that it just got like stuck to or mingled into Sigmar's soul. And so Sigmar put that part of Karl that was still left in him into the Celestin Prime. Karl wielded Galmaraz as a mortal. He carried it with him as a symbol of office. And so the thought is that only when reunited with his symbol of office, only when again given the trust to lead the fight against chaos, could Karl really come back, basically.
That's pretty good. I was like, is it, how do I pronounce pronounce the hammer?
Galmaras?
Yeah, I was like, is it Galmaras? Like, they put it into this Stormcast.
Oh,
that didn't
like
wake
living
up and then
Galmaras?
living, yeah.
I don't think so. That would be
No.
really cool.
But no,
no.
this.
It's Carl.
Okay.
Probably Carl. We don't know for
It's
sure.
not. I mean, if he's like, well, I'll just give him my cool hammer. And that seems like a weird thing to do if you don't know it's Carl.
Right.
But also, if he's like, I mean, that Galmaras is so much a part of Sigmar.
Yes.
Like, and if Carl's being intermingled with Sigmar, it's not, and it became so attached to that symbol of power. It's like, was it just like, oh, here's the special thing and the honor? It's like literally a part of him was missing because it was with Galmaras and that was gone.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like literally the last piece of the puzzle. Like, could not. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. We also, if it is Carl, like, it's probably not all of Carl.
Is it spelled with a K?
Yeah.
Like, how is this man's name Carl?
It's Carl with a K, Karl Franz.
Franz.
It's very, like,
I mean, yes.
Holy Roman Empire, like, Germanic.
Totally.
Is the
so
intent.
we can't just call this man Carl. It has to be Karl Franz, because otherwise we're just calling him Carl.
If it is Emperor Franz.
Emperor Franz. Regardless.
It's probably not all of him. Like I said, it's the bits of his soul that were still clinging to Sigmar when they were inhabiting the same body. Notably, the Celestin Prime is mute. He can't speak. He communicates when he has to through like sign language.
Nice.
But mostly he's there to just like help where he can.
Cool.
The Celestin Prime is not part of any host. Actually, his armor changes to match the color of the host he's currently helping.
That tracks.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Good teamwork vibes.
Yeah, right. And he generally just shows up to the biggest fights when he's needed. Showing up to fight god beasts who are still lurking around, or big chaos monsters, or turn important battles. He's just kind of a spot like fix.
Cool.
Very neat. I like the Celestin Prime quite a bit. Vandus Hammerhand.
He's on a dragon.
He is on a dragon.
His name is Hammerhand.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's riding a Dracolith, which are like lesser descendants of Dracothian. They don't have a draconic intelligence to them, but they're
like
dragony.
I thought it was a horse at first before.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a big what's a big horse that pulls the bear?
Clydesdale.
I thought it was a Clydesdale for a second.
Yeah.
So.
Vandus is an early champion of the Realmgate Wars. He's part of the Hammers of Sigmar, so he's big name there. He has a rivalry with Korgus Kull, the like champion of Khorne who started being a Chaos champion can artificially extend your lifespan. Korgus has been around since the Age of Myth.
Yeah, is that guy.
He's still around, and he's a nightmare. Vandus has been around for a long time. He fought in the Realmgate Wars. To give you perspective, the like modern day stories that are being told in Age of Sigmar now are about 300 years into the Age of Sigmar.
Okay, so we haven't even, not quite even as long as the Age of Chaos lasted.
Yes, correct.
Interesting. That's a specific choice.
Yeah. Vandus has been around for all of it, which means he is reforged a lot, especially since he has a personal rivalry with one of the greatest champions of Chaos.
Yeah.
They have fought each other a lot. There's been a couple of times where Korgos would have died if he hadn't been like specifically saved by Khorne, and Vandus has been killed by Korgos a lot. The last time we saw Vandus, it was too much.
Oh, man.
There's a character we're going to talk about in a minute named Ionis. Ionis is a part of an order of Stormcast whose job is to tend to like Ruination Chamber or to tend to people who are getting too close to the storm. Ionis was the first. He founded that order because he knew someone would need to be caretakers of the lost. The last we saw of Vandus, Ionis was taking him as a lightning geist to be entombed.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. They are both heroes of the Realmgate Wars. They were in that first blitz.
That's not fair. He would have killed that other guy if his god hadn't gotten involved.
Correct. But you could also say the same thing about Vandus if we're being real.
Sigmar doesn't show up to the battlefield and specifically scoop him up. He just gave him like immortality and some cool tools. I think it's a little different.
Yeah. Last we saw of Vandus, we don't know if it's the last we will see of Vandus. Probably. He's a lightning geist now. That's kind of it.
But if they were going to do a story in which exploring that concept and what that means, it feels like that would be the character you do it with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of my faves.
Hello.
Yndrasta.
Look at her mohawk.
Right.
Oh my god. Wow. She's so fucking cool.
I
mean, they're
love
all
Yndrasta.
cool, but look at her.
Right.
Tell me about her.
Yndrasta the Celestial Spear is her full title.
Excellent.
She is also hostless like the Celestin Prime, and that is because she is Sigmar's Grand Huntress. She has taken over Gorka Morka's job.
Hell yes. She is fighting creatures in this one, and that's crazy.
She was raised on Gur to like a human tribe, renowned for their beast hunting. They survived the Age of Chaos largely by just establishing themselves as very potent beast hunters. Yndrasta grew up fighting chaos. Her tribe like turned to just like, okay, we're not hunting like the native big Gurish monsters anymore. We are hunting.
There's a better prey to track.
Yeah. We are hunting chaos monsters now. Jabber Slices, which are like a chaos monster that are very silly. Yeah. Yndrasta was renowned as a hunter during her time as a mortal. She died fighting a demon of Khorne called Bloodbrand. And Sigmar saw so much in her valor and her ferocity in trying to win that fight that he elevated her not just into being a Stormcast, but there are a lot of places where Sigmar refers to Yndrasta as his daughter. He sees it as a, like, you are worthy to, like, inherit this legacy from me.
That's so interesting.
Right.
But the thing about that is Thanos also calls Nebula and Gamora his daughters.
Right.
So.
Right. And there's definitely some kind of like, to that. Like when Yndrasta wakes up from her first forging, she doesn't remember her real parents.
Interesting.
Yeah. She is absolutely terrifying on every level.
Oh, yeah.
She is a nuclear missile in human form. We have so much of her just like imagine just there's a fight happening between humans and like some force of chaos with a huge monster behind them, and just the pinpoint like of lightning of a single Stormcast arriving at the battlefield, and a cruise missile hits it at like Mach 4 and tears it to shreds.
Yes, I've been watching Kaiju number 8.
Yeah.
Like...
She's got big Night Fury energy is how I describe her. She is remarkably fast. She is probably the best monster hunter in existence. And she's gay.
Yes! She's the perfect woman!
We don't have a ton of details about like Yndrasta's relationships when she was immortal. She kind of lives for the hunt now, so we don't have a ton of details post reforging. Yeah. So that is another element of like Yndrasta's great. I love her terribly. But she's not my best boy.
Not your best boy. Is this your best boy?
It's
here?
Gardas. No, that's Yndrasta.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay,
she's got the wings. I should mention the wings. Yndrasta has pinioned wings.
Oh, in this first image with all the lightning, I didn't register those as wings. I thought it was more lightning. But oh, that's really cool.
She's the only Stormcast with like real pinioned wings. Like some of them have that like Art Deco light wing thing going on.
But these are like
Sigmar,
angelic wings.
Yeah, Sigmar gave her wings specifically so that no foe would be outside her reach. His words.
Good, very good. Okay. And so who's your best boy?
The guy doing the superhero landing.
Yeah.
That's Gardas Steel Soul. We mentioned him already a little bit.
Yeah.
He is my favorite Stormcast, and it's not close. He was not a warrior. He was a doctor in life.
He was a doctor!
He died fighting chaos because he stayed behind in Ghyran when Nurgle warriors came for his patients.
Can't have that.
No.
Not allowed.
He did not kill a single Chaos Warrior in life. He died, like, trying to hit a Chaos Warrior with a scalpel, like, to defend people under his care, taking his duty to do no harm to it. You can't see me, listener, but I am crying. I've been super emotional lately anyways, and also I love Gardas.
I get that. Absolutely. Like, I have big feelings in general, and now I'm talking about my favorite character of all the things. Yeah, I'm going to cry now. They're so good.
Died defending his patients, took the deal to become a Stormcast in a heartbeat. It was a really long road for him to like learn how to fight. It's just like against his nature.
Yeah.
But he recognizes the need for it to happen. And I'm gonna cry again. The thing that gets me every time is that Gardas's most important, like Gardas's stated goal his biggest hope is that through his efforts and the efforts of all the other Stormcast, he can eventually make the world better enough that he can go back to being a doctor.
He just wants to be a doctor.
He wants his most important skills not to be how he fights and causes harm, but how he helps and saves people. And he wants that and needs that to happen before Reforging takes it from him.
That's so good and so sad.
Right. Because every time, even he knows it's an important fight. He knows it's something that has to happen. Yeah. But every time he dies, he risks losing the part of him that he values the most, which is his ability to help people.
A lot of information from medical school that's being stripped away every time. Textbooks, there's a lot there.
Gardas has been around for a while. One of Gardas's recurring traits as a Stormcast, like I said, every Reforging is different, is that he's just kind of exudes that anti-corruption aura around himself. It's because he's a doctor. He knows how to heal.
Which is why you were sent to find
the goddess of
life.
Yep.
When the infection took hold.
Yeah. When Gardas dies,
that's just a top tier story right there.
Right. I love Gardas. When Gardas dies, it takes him a long time to reforge. That's just always been a quirk of his. Stormcast reforging varies by person. It can take anywhere between days to months. Gardas is always multiple months every time he dies before he reforges. We don't have a canon reason why, but I choose to believe it's because he is clinging as tightly as possible to his medical knowledge.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to lose that, and so he's willing to stay away longer if it means he can hold on to more.
Nice. Yeah.
Right. I love Gardas. Gardas, more so than I think any character, Gardas embodies the big theme of Age of Sigmar, which is things getting better through great sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh.
A better world is possible, and it will be really hard.
So
and the people who need to pay the price to make it better aren't always the ones that should.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
I love Gardas. We've got a couple more I want to talk about before this very long.
How did you not have just left Gardas for the last one? I'm so confused.
I probably should have. But there's a couple more I want to talk about before this very long episode is over. You flip to the next one. We got a guy in a procession.
Yeah.
That's Bastion Carthalos. Remember that guy?
No.
Yeah, it's been a while since we recorded.
Wait. Is he the guy that defended the wall?
Yeah.
Not the wall.
The gate.
The gate. I was thinking earlier about that guy when we were talking the room gates back and how they were able to escape. And I'm like, it's because that guy. That guy. God, I'm so glad he got to Yeah.
That's Bastion the last person through the gates of Azir before they closed, because he was making sure everybody else got out safely. He fought Archaon as a mortal.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, held him off of the Azir gate so everybody else could get through.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Right? He was terribly wounded in that fight.
I'm sure. I honestly thought he died. Didn't know he made it through the gate. Definitely thought that dude was dead.
He
clearly he was, but
yeah. He actually is the only Stormcast we know of that got reforged before he died.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, they kept him stable while the reforging process worked through. By all accounts, we got the Celestin Prime, and then we got Bastion. Bastion was put on the anvil while still alive because he didn't want to wait for the healing process.
Do it now.
Yeah, he would rather take the lightning than wait.
That's so cool. Okay, so Sigmar was collecting humans for a while.
Yes.
But he didn't pull the trigger on this plan until after the Battle of Burning Sprites totally failed. That's so
because Sigmar knows the cost.
Yeah.
He knows that what reforging is going to do to a person. This was always the last resort.
The last didn't want to do it unless he absolutely had to. And I think, man.
He does. Yeah. There's no question now. Bastion Carthalos is the Lord Commander of the Hammers of Sigmar. He's the top ranking guy of that storm host. I'm going to mention a thing that's frustrating from a lore nerd perspective. This is the first mention we get of something called the Grand Bolts.
Okay.
Sigmar has 7 Grand Bolts.
Okay. Like lightning bolts?
Yeah, like Zeus's bolts, kind of.
Okay. Maybe I thought of the Bolton Frankenstein's neck initially, and that's why I asked for clarification. Go on.
We don't know basically anything about them except that...
Okay, real quick. I don't want a single person being like, actually, Frankenstein was like, 1, I don't care. 2, the creature is often referred to as Victor's son, thus the surname Frankenstein.
Yep.
3, culturally,
Yeah.
you all know it. If you go to
Yep.
Universal Studios and park in the Frankenstein garage,
Right.
which garage? Who's the image on the garage? Like, we all know when I say a Frankenstein, what that means as a monster creature. Like, we're all there. You're not clever and cute, so sit down.
Listen, don't be a pedant. That's my job.
But Dalton, you would never.
You're right. There's 7 grand bolts. We don't know where they came from. We don't know why there's only 7. We do know they're one-time use. And
that's cool.
2 of them have been used.
Interesting. When?
One of them gets used right now.
Okay. Right now.
So it isn't used as a weapon, which seems to be their intent. Bastion Soul is so damaged after the fight with Archaon that they have to patch it with the Grand Bolt. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
That's really cool that I can do that.
Right. So Bastion, more than most, is like mostly lightning from the jump. He still has his mind.
I have to let the cat out because her crying is going to
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
So Sigmar patches Bastion Soul with a Grand Bolt.
Very cool.
Makes him immensely powerful. We have not yet, spoilers for our audience, we're going to record an episode where we actually play the game Age of Sigmar for context for stuff like this.
Yeah.
But like in-game, at the end of every like in-game turn, Bastion heals to full health because he's got the bolt powering him, which is very cool. He can also just like project it from himself. So every turn he gets to just hit someone on the board with lightning, which is extremely funny. Bastion is immensely powerful. He is basically the like field commander of the forces of Sigmar, and I just like him. He's a cool guy.
He sounds like he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's one cool dude.
Yeah. We've got our boy Ionis. I
yeah.
mentioned him once. He's riding a big ass dragon.
He is riding a big ass dragon.
Ionis is the first, or Ionis is the first of what will come to be known as Lord Relictors, Shepherds of the Lost.
Yeah.
He's
got very skull aesthetic going
He
on
does. He has self-appointed himself like a protector of Stormcast who get too close to the storm,
Yep.
and he has the self-stated goal of trying to find a fix for the reforging flaw. It's probably not possible based on what we know. Yeah, but that hope is what differentiates
He has
him.
to hold on to something.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a personal hope. Like I said, he fought in the Realmgate Wars next to Vandus. He watched him deteriorate in real time, and not just him, many more like him.
Yeah.
He has a personal investment in trying to find a flaw for reforging, not just a way to prevent it from happening, but a way to reverse it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a
I
very...
guess where did those pieces of your soul go? If you could find them, could you put them back together?
They're just gone, is what we're pretty sure. Like, it's probably
I mean, it was what we've been led to believe at this moment, but, like, I don't know. That practice of if you, when, like, I don't know the word for it. The Japanese practice, you break, something is broken and you fix it with gold. Yeah. Like, if we decide in this world that, yes, the soul pieces are gone, then that's what it is. But they're pieces of a soul and they go somewhere. Could you get them back together? Could you fix it like that? Not like stitch it back together, but add like... They have Sigmar's
something
divinity.
else,
It feels like that could fill in the gaps to make you you again.
Maybe. And that's what keeps Ionis going, for sure.
That feels like what would be the like that ultimately feels like what would be the difference between Age of Sigmar and Warhammer, between something that is grimdark and something that is ultimately meant to be, in the end, theoretically, there is hope.
That's the hope that keeps us going. We'll probably never know, is kind of the, like, especially because now Ionis has kind of like a philosophical counterpart we're going to talk about in a second.
Cool.
Yeah. Ionis is the hope that, like, that can be fixed, even when there's no evidence to support it. Like I said, personal friend of Vandus, he brought him to... like be entombed when he turned into a lightning geist.
Looked after him till the very end.
Yeah. I didn't put in the slideshow. I should have. There is a harrowing image of Ionis just like with both of his arms wrapped around what's left of Vandus, just like hauling him into like a cell to contain him until they can put him in a statue, basically. Yeah. Just
brutal.
It's too much. He made friends with that dragon.
It's a cool dragon. Dragon have a name?
Yeah, he does. I just don't remember what it is. He goes everywhere with him, looking for a cure. Officially, he's part of the warrior chamber, but he doesn't take orders from them.
I don't work for you.
No, yeah, he'll show up to fights if it benefits him, but his ultimate,
not what he's here to do.
even if Sigmar gave him a direct order, he probably wouldn't follow it at this point.
Yeah.
He's just looking for a cure.
Yeah,
and he's gonna spend his immortality doing it.
I'm not gonna let myself die and then not and be. He's like sounds like the only one trying this.
Yeah,
if he
pretty
dies
much.
and gets too close to the storm and he gets lost in the storm, then no one else is doing it. He can't let that happen.
Pretty much.
Mood.
Right. Next one, only a couple more to go.
Hello.
I like her. This is Neve Blacktalon.
She's cool.
She's very cool.
Listen, they're all cool, but
Right.
she's cool.
She has her own animated series.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. It's called Black Talon, and it's pretty good.
When are we gonna watch that?
Well, definitely for a bonus episode.
Yeah.
Neve is, not to be confused with Yndrasta, Neve is Sigmar's personal assassin.
Okay. Personal hunter of Sigmar, personal assassin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are two very different things.
Yeah, when Sigmar...
There's an Artemis and there's an Athena.
Yeah, when Sigmar wants a monster dead, he sends Yndrasta. When he wants a political rifle dead, he sends Neve. Neve is super fascinating because she is like weirdly close to the storm for how capable she is.
Oh.
Like she still has a lot of her faculties, but she doesn't remember almost anything about when she was mortal.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there's a good reason for that. It's because we don't have like a ton of evidence, but we're pretty sure Neve was a chaos warrior in life. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Right?
What? How?
Right?
Tell me more.
Like I said, we don't have a ton. Just the memories that Neve tends to get back in flashes, especially when she's reforging, seem to show her on the wrong side of these wars. The thought is that Sigmar picked someone who just like had what he needed, like the skills to like be his personal assassin. And during that first reforging, just made sure those parts of her that were aligned to chaos were gone.
Did she agree to this?
No, almost certainly not.
Yeah, I mean, not even just obviously not agreeing to like get rid of those parts, but like
being a Stormcast.
Yeah, getting that like, hey.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean, I could see yeah, probably not, and that's a big bummer. If we didn't want to do a bummer narrative, the idea of, like, you have what I need, I'm willing to take... Like, if she's like... Because the people do the chaos thing, and then at the end, it's, like, horrible. At the end, I imagine if they would... most of them would be like, if I could go back, I wouldn't do this.
Lots of people who serve chaos would never have done it if they had any other option. Yeah, for sure.
There's a version of the narrative where he does offer that, and just out of says... you can work for me, and that doesn't have to be the end of your tale. And she could have been the one that asked, take away all of that. I don't want to remember that part. Like, and I think that's very interesting, and then doesn't get in this icky lack of agency for this female character. And I don't know, it depends, but I personally think her being given this choice, and also kind of like the idea that no one is beyond redemption.
Yeah. Yes.
Is a thing I really like. And the service of being a Stormcast, knowing what will be lost, and being so close to the room, and still doing this thing against chaos as her path of redemption.
Yeah. I like that tale better. There's some people who like to frame Neve as like another glimpse at like Sigmar not quite being all he's cracked up to be. Yeah. I do think there might be an element of that. I also like that narrative better. That Neve looked back on her past and had regrets and chose to like move past them, just to try and be better. Because
I also think it's very, because there's a lot of chaos warriors who be really good at just killing people for you, right? I think it'd be interesting if like Sigmar, she wasn't the first that was offered. Right. She was just the first to say yes. Right. Because not everybody is willing to seek redemption. It's very oh God, who's that guy that sells his soul for magic from the devil?
Faust.
Yeah, it's very Faustian. Like, not everyone, you get endless opportunities, and not everyone is willing to even go for that, or they think they're better off without it, or they think they don't deserve it, or whatever reason. And so, like, that idea that, like, no one is beyond redemption, but not everyone is willing to do the hard work to earn it.
Absolutely.
But it depends on, like, what the overarching vibe of the narrative is.
And I think Age of Sigmar tends to be more hopeful than 40k. And then I like that read better. Neve. Neve is, I mentioned this earlier, Neve is one of the Stormcast who has learned to ride the winds etheric.
Cool.
So she can dip back onto like Azira's plane like mid-combat and then emerge somewhere else to like short-range teleport while she's fighting, which makes her an excellent assassin.
What is that sound that Nightcrawler makes when he
Bamf.
teleports?
Yeah. But yeah, I really like Neve. There's still a lot like left in the shadows about her, even after her like animated series. Also, she operates with a team called the Black Talons,
Cool.
and they all kick ass. It's like 4 other Stormcast.
I can't shoot an animated series that didn't like establish what her backstory lore was. What incredible like self-restraint.
Right. They keep hinting at it. Like that's largely how we know that when she gets flashes of her like mortal life, they're on the wrong side because she keeps getting those and like trying to confide in her companions. Like, what am I seeing? Like, why am I getting these visions? Is how she interprets them.
Yeah.
Because she can't grapple with the fact that like she might have been a
Those
Chaos
memories,
Warrior. Yeah. The Black Talons are great because it's 4 other Stormcast and an Ideneth.
That's cool.
Which is very cool.
That's very cool.
It's a good representation of Ideneth too. It's like a good look at him. One that I'm excited to talk about. Next one on the list. That
It's a bitty thing.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of official art yet because that's Iridan the Witness, our non-binary rep.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, and they're like brand new.
They're super new. Okay,
Yeah.
that's neat. I like their outfit. They've got this like chainmail robe thing, hood going on. It's very good.
Right. Iridan is Ruination Chamber. They've reforged a lot. They're very close to the storm. Iridan became noteworthy because...
Okay, hold on real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Do we know for a fact they identified as non-binary before they got close
We
to
don't
the
know.
storm?
I know. That's kind of the, like...
Concern of, like, I just don't know
Yeah.
these things, therefore. Which I think is an interesting
Yeah.
take, provided they are not literally the only example.
Yeah. Listen, more representation is good, and it doesn't have to be perfect representation. And I'm hoping we get like Iridan was non-binary before they got close to the storm.
Yeah.
But our other non-binary rep in Age of Sigmar are all demons who like strictly don't have like physical sex.
Yeah, which feels like a very different thing.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to have Iridan not be that.
Yeah.
Let's maybe not do the narrative of losing parts of your personality is what makes you not have gender.
Yeah, and suddenly that, because it's like that feels like they become less and less human, and that would suck.
That'd be bad.
So you need to
Please
give
don't
us
do that.
4 more at least, and then this can be a narrative that we can tell without it being icky.
Please.
It could be a bummer zone.
Yeah.
But if you establish that this is a story with intention, and over here we've got other characters who that is not what has happened to them, and we are not saying this, like, being non-binary equals lack of humanity.
Right. Please.
Please. Which doesn't feel like a big ass.
Yeah, right. Like I said, we don't know a ton about Iridan. They're very new to the narrative. They worshipped, before they became Ruination, they worshipped Sigmar alongside one of the gods of death from the old world.
Interesting.
Who, based on stuff we're getting now, might have successfully like hid from Nagash.
Oh, right, because Nagash murdered all of them.
Nagash murdered all the gods of death when he got to Shaiish. It seems Morda was a god of death from the old world. It seems she made the jump to the mortal realms
and didn't get invited to the club.
Got hid so successfuly that no one knew she was around, basically.
Kind of had to when Nagash was running around killing everybody.
Correct. Nagash got invited to the club, so you can't show up.
You were not allowed to show you. Hey, speaking of, we need a new death god.
Yeah, right. I think that might be, obviously it'll never like fully happen because Nagash is an established part of the story and they sell a big miniature of him. But I feel like that might be the like, here's Nagash, the god of death, and here's the cooler god of death situation.
One that doesn't just actively suck at every opportunity.
Right.
If there's an opportunity to be the worst, Nagash has already done a worse thing, actually.
We know at some point Iridan was sent to the Bleak Citadels, much like most people who get too close to the storm. They lived in existence there for some time. When they got like pulled back into active duty because of the big terrible thing that recently happened in lore. They were like serving alongside their fellow Ruination Chamber and feeling their anxiety, feeling their worry that this would be the last time that they reforged, that they would come back as something monstrous, as lightning geists.
Lightning Geist. I think you kept saying Stormgeist earlier. Lightning Geist.
Yes. And they reached out to Morda for an answer. And Iriden is the kind of philosophical mirror to Ionis, because Ionis is looking for a cure.
Yeah.
And Morda gave Iriden release.
What does that mean?
Iriden is, to our knowledge, the only person who can kill a Stormcast permanently.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And almost definitely guarantees that, there's this other death god hiding out.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
That didn't come from nowhere.
No,
like,
no. Morda's definitely out there.
Yeah.
She's just not really vibing with this situation, basically, is the, kind of the idea we get. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Give this other dude permission to do whatever he wants, and then he killed all your friends? Yeah, because it sounds like all the death gods were probably doing their own thing pretty harmoniously. Had their own groups with, and he said, I get it. Interesting.
So Iriden is, like I said, the philosophical counterpart to Ionis. Ionis is not Ruination Chamber. Ionis is from the outside, and he is seeking a cure that almost certainly doesn't exist. Iriden has a cure. They are on the inside. They have actually lived the experience of being Ruination Chamber, felt that suffering, felt what their companions need and want, and offer them the grimmer but real answer.
That is so interesting. It's like literally the point of like them being on the inside, and actually this is their lived experience, and this is the answer that someone with the lived experience has deemed as the appropriate and only option, is so very interesting. Right. I'm very excited about,
like I said, Iriden's pretty new. We don't know a ton about them. I'm very excited. I want them and Ionis to interact so bad.
It feels like that's what, like you said, they're literally like foils.
Yeah. I want to see that conversation of like
okay, is Iris their name from the, like, we know that how do we know what any of their names are still after, like, they've been the Ruination Chamber and they've been the Bleak Citadel? Like, they've lost all these things.
A lot of even Ruination Chamber Stormcast will hang on to their name like to the very end. And Iriden is less close to the storm than some.
Iriden and Ionis, the other one.
Ionis is the Lord Relictor on the dragon.
Yes.
Iriden's riding a big crow, which is great. Cool. The crow is the symbol of Morda, so that's part of it.
That's so, because I was just like, wait, there's a bird demon.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of Morda, and you don't get to just claim all of these symbols for yourself.
Yes.
Like
Iriden, also one of Iriden's traits, which makes them kind of unique amongst Ruination Chamber Stormcast, is that Iriden has an, I'm going to say this wrong, eidelectic memory.
Eidetic?
Yeah. Where they have perfect recall.
Yeah, that's what Leslie Crusher has in Star Trek.
Yeah. So Iriden...
Also Fillmore's friend from Fillmore.
Yeah.
Did you watch Fillmore?
No.
It was a show. It was an animated show about hall monitors.
Ooh, hell yeah.
And it was like a kid cop show.
Hell yeah.
She had a... It's my photographic memory, but that's what she had, yeah.
In... you should read the City Watch novels for Terry Pratchett.
I'm on Libby. No, let's just let me...
Hell yeah.
No, I'm working on it. I have guards like reserved on Libby audiobook for like months now. It's 2 weeks out.
Hell yeah. I was just gonna say
as is The Night Before Christmas.
Yeah, we're probably fighting for the same copy.
No, the library has 2 copies in use.
There you go.
I'm third in line. One in line.
I'm fourth in line. I was gonna say we both saw it on the book club at the same time and went for it.
I had notifications for it to be like, tell me when it's, because Lucy and I have talked about it for when I first found out about it. So that's a great thing. I was trying to figure out how do I work it into the Aragon podcast. So I can just talk about it.
But I was just gonna say, there's a City Guards book where it gets established that I can't remember the context of the argument, but Vimes, who's the main character of the City Watch books, gets into an argument with a dwarf about like title and rank because that's very important to dwarves often. And the dwarf was like, "What's the like most important position or like rank you've held?" And Vimes snidely says he was a blackboard monitor when he was in elementary school. But like some time passes in the book and then they come back to it and the dwarf comes up to like, actually, no, like that is like your role. You were trusted with the like preservation or erasure of knowledge. That is more important than what you do now.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wrecked.
Yeah.
Get wrecked, Vimes.
Right.
Wow. What are you going to... You don't come back for that. You're going to go lie down for the rest of the day.
So Blackboard Monitor Vimes, when you said Hall Monitor, is just what I thought of. Because he starts like using it as a title, which is very funny. It's like on his... Mostly to spite nobility, which he hates. It's like on his formal title.
That's so good. Vimes was in Monstrous Regiment.
He was.
Yeah.
He's right there at the end.
Yeah. I don't think they didn't refer to him as Blackboard Monitor Vimes.
No,
I definitely would have clocked and been like, what the fuck?
I think Monsters Regiment came out before. That happens in The Fifth Elephant. Iriden has an eidetic memory, but they don't remember their own stuff. So they're slowly losing parts of themselves, but they remember all of the comrades that they send beyond. That's why they're Iriden the Witness. That's why they were given this responsibility, is that even when Iriden is gone, they will still remember everyone else.
That's so interesting.
Right.
That's really cool.
Right.
So don't fuck it up by having their non-binary
right.
be a result of them losing the pieces of themselves. Like, just don't fuck that up. It's really easy.
Also, before people get at me in the comments, I said Iriden is the only person who can permanently release a Stormcast from life. That is true, but they have like imparted that power onto like a close inner circle because they can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
So Iriden's axe is what does it.
Uh-huh.
That can just remove a Stormcast soul from this plane. We don't know where it goes, but it grants them permanent death. Iriden established an order called the Lord Terminos, and they do the same thing.
Does Sigmar know about this?
Yes.
Does he have opinions?
He has like formally allowed it.
Yeah.
Like he said that it's okay if Stormcast choose it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty clear he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Like
you'd rather just put him in a statue? Like, come on, Sigmar.
It's more that it seems he's worried that if there is a way to release Stormcast permanently from like immortality, then it might get wielded against them.
That's a very good point, because as soon as you said that Iriden yes, has given this ability to others, I immediately just a little bit red flags, a little bit like, ooh, but like I think I trust Iriden explicitly. I don't know these other people though. Yeah. That's too many factors we can't control.
Yeah. Also, I haven't read this book yet, but I want to. There's a book that came out recently that talks a lot about the Ruination Chamber. And they actually have a like Lord Terminos ceremony in it. One of Iriden's like disciples granting a Stormcast final death. On the battlefield, that just happens in the moment. You mourn them later. But a like Ruination Chamber who isn't active duty, who chooses final death, there's like a whole ceremony involved. It is almost treated like a baptism is kind of the vibe I've gotten from like other people's accounts, where the person is present and all of their friends, families, often descendants, because if you've been reforging for a long time, then you likely have mortal descendants.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Are invited. And
finish this. I have a question.
Yeah. All of them are invited, and they are encouraged to like tell stories about the soon to be deceased.
Oh, these are stories they can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a bringing something back to them before the final decision is made. Yeah. Because at the end, some say, no, actually, I think I'll keep being
going.
Like close to the storm.
Yeah.
And some say, I don't remember any of this, but I'm glad
to know it.
That this is what you know of me. Yeah. But I'm ready to be done.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So thinking about like Stormcast having descendants, does Is it common for the still living like relatives and family to know that an individual has become a Stormcast?
Depends.
I mean,
Because,
obviously the Vikings all know it.
Yes. You don't get like a letter.
It,
like yeah.
like military.
Yeah. There's no structure in place to like tell living descendants that like a family member has become a Stormcast. And some Stormcast prefer to leave it that way.
Yeah.
Some Stormcasts are like, this is my life now. I'm doing the fight against chaos.
Yeah.
It would hurt my family more to know that like I'm still around and I can't be with them. Some Stormcasts go back to their family. I'm going to give a brief spoiler for an incredible book called God Eater's Son that I love terribly, that we are definitely going to do a bonus episode about at some point. But the main character of God Eater's Son's mother becomes a Stormcast.
Oh.
And God Eater's Son is a story about the protagonist's fall to chaos.
Damn.
And
oh no.
She intentionally like leaves it a mystery that she is his mother, basically like through all of her early interactions with him, until she thinks it's the thing that can stop him from walking that path. And it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, but that is very indicative of the relationship that Stormcast will often have to living relatives, where it's better to keep an arm's reach. I can't meaningfully be with you anymore. But like some of them fail that
that's so
intent.
Yeah, I think the way that we're like knowing, and so then people know what Stormcast are.
Yes,
they know the deal. They know what they all are. That is so interesting. I wonder if it feels like, I mean, the Viking barbarian would be like, it is noble to die and become a Stormcast, and that's feels so cool. And then like, I could see also an interesting like perspective on it of like Stormcast would want their family and the family's descendants to know this, to hold on to those stories. Because if the only people that know you are other Stormcasts, then eventually the stories that they know about you will be lost too. Yeah. It's the only way to survive those pieces, like keep those pieces of you alive, is like the living memory of your family's descendants.
Yeah. Ruination Stormcast, when they're sent into battle, are often, if they're too far gone, are often accompanied by what are known as Memorians. Those are mortals who have been told that Stormcast story. Whoa. So they can just like try and spark something in them, like jumpstart them with tales of their own heroism. And Memorians are often picked because they are descendants of the Stormcast in question.
That's such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. Whoa. It's crazy. I love Stormcast.
There's a lot of cool shit going on.
Right. Not only are the realms aware of Stormcast, the realms have mixed opinions on Stormcast. Like usually they're like a savior force.
Except those one guys that burn the whole town down.
Yeah, you don't want the
Knights Excelsior. No, thank you.
But some places can get a little bit bitter. There's only so many Stormcast, and there's lots of fronts.
You feel like they're not.
Yeah, a lot of one of my favorite Warhammer novels is called Gloomspite. It is a horror novel, and it is about this little city that's about 50 miles from Hammerhall. That like everyone there is just kind of constantly bemoaning the fact that if like a big chaos force gets close to Hammerhall, 100 Stormcast drop out of the sky instantly to defend the biggest human settlement. But they're lucky to get like one on a good day because there's only so many Stormcasts.
You're only 50 miles from Hammerhall. You
also move. True.
Like respectfully, I get it. Like the land, the like heritage, like your family is here. Like, you're like only 50 miles. You're only 50 miles. Like, I know you don't have cars, but like, what even is that for a walk? You could move.
That is also an interesting. We are pushing 2.5 hours on this.
You might have to split this episode in half.
Yeah, we might. That is an interesting point you bring up about having lived here for a long time and like culture and heritage. A lot of the cities are people who survived the Age of Chaos.
I would
and
think.
Their descendants.
Yeah.
A lot aren't.
Oh.
A lot are all Azir-born.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of people probably didn't make it out of the Age of Chaos alive.
And people who did survive the Age of Chaos without Sigmar's help.
Oh, the resentment.
Have opinions.
Of course.
About a bunch of Azirians moving onto their land. And telling them that they're reclaiming them for Sigmar.
Oh, interesting.
And they tend to have very different opinions about Stormcast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so. But none of the Stormcast would have been Azerian.
Some of them
I'm
are.
sure now.
Yeah,
but
now
like
some are.
not beforehand when
Not
he was
really,
still.
yeah.
Listen, before they had their grand debut,
Yes.
none of them would have been because there was no chaos on Azir, so
Yeah.
no Azerian would have had the opportunity
Died
to
fighting
die
chaos, correct.
and meet that criteria. And so, like, that's also very interesting. Is that like great? You used our people for this like constant battle fodder where they're going to die forever until they're lost entirely, but not your own.
Yeah. We know,
And I'm sure they were still just living and dying, but
yeah, we know some like native Actians who see Stormcast as a perversion.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've taken our ancestors and turned them into weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know that there are like humans in the realms who are order aligned. They want chaos pushed out,
yeah.
but they don't like Sigmar.
yeah.
They correctly have assessed what he's doing as colonialism.
Yeah.
There's
There's that whole god of civilization flaw again.
we see it in Gloomspite, again, a novel I love, which follows a mercenary company. Everyone in the mercenary company is Azerian born, except for their guide, who actually knows the landscape, an Akshi born man named Old Shev, who I love, by the way, who likes the people he's traveling with, and he's broadly like in favor of what they are doing, but he doesn't want to move to a city,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to worship Sigmar,
Yeah.
because he doesn't think everything Sigmar does is good.
No, for sure.
He thinks
for
he's
sure.
he thinks he's a good ally in these trying times, but he would never worship him as a god. And that is a really interesting perspective that,
No, for sure.
yeah, huge fan of. I don't know. I like Age of Sigmar because it is a story about people trying to do good and why that's complicated.
Yeah.
That is in contrast to 40K, which is a story about people being shitty for basically no reason.
Because the world is bad, I'll just be bad. It means nothing
Correct.
matters.
Yep. Yeah. If we were having this conversation about how like the Imperium treats non-aligned like human civilizations, they kill them.
Yeah, they just wipe them out. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Extermination.
The
Join
number-
or die.
The number one cause of death of humans in 40K is the Imperium of Man. Whether that's your world decided they didn't want to be part of the Imperium, so we exploded it. We Death Starred it.
Just start it.
Exterminatus is what it's called in 40K.
Of course it is.
Or whether that's you died in an industrial accident at 12 because you were expected to be working the industrial machines by like 8.
Yeah. Not everything is for me. Everyone has their interests. I don't see the appeal of something so grimdark.
Right. Like I get.
I'm not. This is not.
No.
Also not an dear listener. Not an invitation for you to explain it to me.
Yeah.
And also not a critique on it. It's just
Yeah.
for real not for me whatsoever.
Yeah. I've dipped my toes into 40K before and I just always bounce off because for whatever appeal it has of like, here's a world that's bad and can't get better. Here's a character who's going to try and do good. Has as a story.
Yeah.
I just can't get past the overwhelming flaw that the Imperium sucks in a way that I'd never want to root for.
Yeah.
Like you can't make me care about the desires of Space Marines. They're all garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
The most notably good Space Marine is a guy named Rabute Gilliman, which
Great
is
name.
a good name. Nobody can pronounce it, which is my favorite running meme in 40K. So everybody calls him Rowboat Gorilla Man or Robot Gorilla Glue or like just.
It's very Bandersnatch cucumber buns.
Yes, yep. Rabute is okay. Slight 40K tangent. The most interesting thing about 40K is that the Emperor, our Sigmar equivalent, except he sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks more than
And
Sigmar
is a
does.
corpse.
Yeah. If Sigmar is like, I generally have broad good goals, but I don't have a great ability to understand my own influences via like colonialism and stuff. The Emperor is, I am in charge of the entire universe, and if you don't like it, I'm going to kill you. And people think he's a good guy sometimes, which is
seems
completely
weird.
fucking insane.
That's an odd take to have.
Right. As part of his big plan to conquer the galaxy, the Emperor had the Emperor of Mankind had 20 sons. A statement that is completely factually wrong, but is like the common consensus, which is very interesting.
Okay.
One, the Emperor of Mankind has no biological children.
Okay.
He like gene spliced 20 super soldiers.
Gross.
Yep. He calls them his son, but he does not think of them as that. He calls them his sons so that they more willingly work with him. He thinks of them as tools. He refers to them by their numbers in private.
Neat.
The Emperor of Mankind isn't human, so he's not really the Emperor of Mankind. And he had 21 sons.
What?
Yeah, those 21 kids are called the Primarchs. They're the most interesting thing about 40K, because each of the original Space Marine chapters is based off of them. So that's where we get our like Stormhost-esque quirks to them.
Yeah.
So like you've got Rubute Gilliman, and also they were all kidnapped as babies
course.
and raised on distant planets.
Gross.
Um,
And gene spliced.
yes.
Gross.
So like Rubute Gilliman grew up on like a distant planet that had self-styled itself on like the Roman Empire. That's why he's named Rubute Gilliman.
Yeah.
He has like styled the little like Roman like leaves into his armor,
That's pretty cool.
which is very cool. I do like that. And he's like law and order and by the book and structure and the Senate, and we will solve this by a lessened debate guy. And then you have someone like Conrad Kurz, which is a very funny name for a gene splice super soldier.
Yeah.
All Primarchs have stupid names. Don't get at me. Conrad Kurz had horrifying premonitions of the future from a
Yikes.
young age, and he got teleported to like a shithole industrial planet. So he was raised on the streets by nobody and grew up to be like a psycho murderer because of it, because he was just plagued by these horrifying nightmares of the future and had
fair.
no way to deal with it.
Yeah.
The absolute funniest name in all of Warhammer, don't get at me, Ferrus Manus
Yeah.
of the Iron Hands chapter.
There we go.
His name means iron hand in Latin.
Interesting.
Perturabo, the siege specialist. So his name means perpetual, and he's the guy who's good at sieges.
Listen, that's pretty funny.
Lehman Russ of the Space Wolves. Also, Space Wolves is an objectively funny thing to call a group of super soldiers.
I think this 40K tangent is good because it means that I suspect there are folks who were like, yeah, not a 40K podcast, don't talk about it, will form an opinion. Well, you just don't know anything about it. You just don't understand it. And now we can demonstrate, no. Dalton knows a ton about this and has made the educated decision of fuck that.
I don't know a ton by the standards of people who are really into 40K.
Or by the
I
standards
will
of what you know about
preface,
this.
yeah.
But you know more than me, who's just decided, fuck that.
We're not a 40K podcast.
Are we
Run
sure?
Kicks ass. Yeah.
I feel like we almost were for a second. I can feel
listen.
it. I could feel it slipping. I had to pull us back.
As of the recording of this episode, we have 700 downloads.
Wow,
which thank you,
listeners,
by the way.
Say that.
Huge.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thanks for spending your time with us, especially this episode.
Extremely thankful for all of you.
Hey, Dalton.
Yeah.
There's one more image.
There's one more image. I'm sorry.
In the visual aids.
There's one more image. We're going to talk about the last important Stormcast for our presentation today.
You
Surprise!
don't have to be sorry. This has been a delight. I've had a great time.
Surprise! They're dragons.
There's two dragons.
There's two dragons. Those are Dracothian's kids.
You've talked about his
Yeah,
kids.
direct descendants, not or direct kids. Like
They're blue and red.
They are blue and red. They fought alongside Dracothian during the Battle of Burning Skies.
Is this one holding a knife?
No, I think he's holding like a shard of statue, probably.
Okay. This dude's just punching a guy out of the frame.
Yes.
Great. They're so cool.
That is Krondus and Kazurai.
Is Kazurai the blue one?
Kazurai is the red one.
Interesting. Krondus just felt like a more aggro name.
That's fair. Krondus is the blue one. Kazurai is the red one. They're Dracothian's firstborn children, to our knowledge. They were in hiding during the Age of Chaos. They couldn't really fight back by themselves, and Chaos has a habit of capturing dragons and corrupting them to chaos.
Yeah, we don't want
they wanted
that.
to avoid that.
Total respect. Hiding, yeah.
Krondus spent his time in isolation learning magic, which kicks so much ass. It's unreal.
The blue one does look like he does magic.
Yes, he is a huge dragon wizard. in game, he can cast spells, and he's really good at it.
That's awesome.
It's so good. Krondus, they're mirrors to each other. Krondus spent his time in isolation, learning and bettering himself. Kazurai kind of went stir crazy.
I could see.
He was extremely upset that they couldn't do more to prevent the Age of Chaos from happening. He wanted to get back in the fight earlier, and Krondus largely tempered him from
Don't do that, man.
trying to do it.
Yeah.
When they finally did re-emerge, they actually only join us in the narrative during the Era of the Beast, a thing that happens that empowers dragons as part of the Era of the Beast stuff.
Yeah.
So that's when they rejoin us in the narrative. Krondus rejoins the Stormcast Eternals. He acts as advisor to Sigmar. Kazurai goes on a big murder spree. Kazurai is pretty crazy at this point. He just kind of drove himself to it, lusting after his revenge. And he mostly goes on big murder rampages against Chaos Warriors, but
mostly.
Yeah. He's kind of a big murder dragon.
Well, you know what? Fair.
Yeah, honestly.
All things considered.
Right?
You know what? It'd be that way.
Yeah.
Slay.
Listen, for all the times that he obliterates a Chaos Fortress single-handedly, I think we'll take it.
Yeah.
But those are our notable Stonecast. I'm going to very quickly mention Tornus the Redeemed, just because I didn't put him in
that name.
Yeah, I didn't put him in the notes initially because I didn't know how much of a figure in lore he was going to be going forward, but he actually just got a big thing. He got a model, which is the gold standard for you being important. Yep. Everyone I have in the slideshow has a model. So that's the metric I use, but Tornus just got his model. Tornus was a Chaos Warrior, and he did the Neve thing we were speculating on, where he called out to Sigmar to redeem him in his death.
Okay, so if we've already done that, then Neves will probably be a little more of a bummer fest.
Yes.
But isn't that interesting? But he knows, though. Does
Tornus?
he know? Yeah.
Yes, Tornus knows that he was once a Chaos Warrior. He's part of the Hallowed Knights, the ones who are really good at cleansing Chaos corruption, specifically so that he can do as much as possible to undo the harm he did.
Aww.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Him.
He's a Knight Azuros now, which is a type of Stormcast that have those Art Deco wings.
Yeah.
So he's just flying across the battlefield purifying stuff. He's great. I like Tornus a lot.
That's really cool.
He leads a group that are in a similar situation to him, other Chaos Warriors who regretted their choice and called out to Sigmar to redeem them.
This just happened a lot.
It does happen. We don't know where Neve is the thing, because all those people remember that they were Chaos Warriors.
Yeah, and
that's
what brings the question: did she pick it? Was it the first time?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chaos Warriors take this deal a lot.
Yeah.
Did they ask
not
before they died?
super duper often.
Not a lot, but more than I thought. I would have thought zero. Honestly.
There's a solid football team of redeemed as far as we know, which
that makes me really happy.
Yeah.
Hey, that makes me really happy.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's definitely possible. But hey, 2 hours and 40 minutes into this recording, I think that's where we're going to cut it for the Stormcast episode. I knew this was going to be a long one. We're talking about the poster child faction of Age of Sigmar. They're on the front of all the books.
They're on the front of all the books. I have one Warhammer I have one Warhammer thing in general that I own, and it's a mini that is a Stormcast.
Yeah. That guy's from the Sacrosanct Chamber, like I was saying. That's the Wizards.
Hey, and I was really into the Wizards. Look at that. Love it.
But hey, thank you once again, dear listeners. We already called you out earlier in this episode, but we are super appreciative of everything that you listen to us talk about here, and we're always happy to have you. Also,
shout out.
Yeah, I was going to say, we here at the Bad Moons Orbit would also like to shout out our friends at Battleshock Wargaming. If you are looking we cover the lore side of Age of Sigmar here on the podcast. If you are looking for gameplay of Age of Sigmar, I cannot recommend a better YouTube channel. They have good tactics. They know the game very well. They take a lot of effort into editing them to look nice. Whenever I am craving Age of Sigmar the game and I don't have time to play, I always love to sit down and watch an episode of Battleshock Wargaming. Shout out to them. We love to see, and they're locals to Idaho like we are. Hey. We love to see local community lifting each other up.
It did just occur to me that there is a non-zero chance that there are folks who are going to download it and start listening to this podcast because they are looking for tips on how to play the game better. They're looking for strategy to help improve their quest, and I'm just oh man,
won't find that here.
You won't find that here. I can almost guarantee.
If we ever have a Patreon, maybe we'll have a tier where you can ask me for game advice, or ask Darian for game advice, because that would be funny.
That would be so funny. Well, have you tried flipping the game board? Now, you say some people can bamf. How often can they bamf? Could they potentially teach this skill to others?
Usually,
maybe hold a seminar.
Usually once a turn. Always evaluate a unit by how fast it can move. That's your AOS tip for the episode.
That would actually be really fun to do that going forward at the end of everyone. Here's your tip for the episode.
I actually talked with Michael, one of the guys from Battleshock Wargaming, because he was like, it'd be fun to do like some kind of collaboration in the future, because we're all like local Idaho, like Age of Sigmar content creators. And one of his proposals was us doing a Mystery Science Theater 3000 style conversation over the top of footage of one of their games.
Fun. That would be really delightful. That would be wild.
But anyways,
I'm gonna be a little tipsy for it.
That's probably a good call.
That's how we get peak chaos Darian. I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna need just a little bit of box strawberry wine.
Listeners, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you have enjoyed this exploration of the mortal realms and our first dip into the actual Age of Sigmar.
We're here.
We're here.
We did it. Hey,
We're
listener,
here.
Thanks for hanging around. If you're just like, okay, I don't care. When are we gonna get to the part I wanted this to be? Hey,
Stormcaster here. We're here. Yeah. Next episode, we're going to be talking about a mystery. I have kept this secret from Darian for a long time.
Dalton's very good at that.
I'm very excited to talk about it, but not in this recording session, because it's going to be another long episode. I'm just going to warn you now.
Like, what do you do too? I'm like,
no, not tonight. Listeners, thank you so much for being here. I have been, as always, your Night Questor, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Darian the Endless. And remember, you get what everyone gets. You get a lifetime.
Thanks so much. See you next time.
Unless you're a Stormcaster.